How y'all doing, ladies and gentlemen? Pieces and blessings upon all my Akhis and all my sisters out there. Welcome to Split Decision. Split Decision is a boxing, debate / talk show. Obviously, to the right, in the red corner, is the undefeated Akhi. Akhi, whatever you want to call him.
Man, you got
to my left. Oh, we not live yet?
It's not showing it. It looked like it was trying to go live.
Should be live.
It should be live. Hold on, it just said. Okay, I had to
We are live?
I think it's about to go. Usually do a commercial. I had to refresh my jump.
Yeah, we live.
Yeah, we good.
Yeah, hold on. We live. See, Professor Nim, hey, you already know. They ain't ready for us. So to the right, obviously, is your boy Akhi. To my left is no other than.
Yo, Professor Nims, the pundit with the PhD in pugilism. What's good?
What's good? Now, we all know not anybody could sit up here. Obviously, Professor Nim is a real-life professor with a PhD degree, and he gonna need all that knowledge because today he my opponent. Or are you my victim? Which one is it, Professor Nim?
No. I never played a victim role, so I can answer that easily.
So he's saying it's a 50-50 fight. It's a split decision. That's what he's looking for. So I just want to let it be known. I just want to go ahead and call out and let it be known that I challenge all y'all decafs and all y'all old media members that stay dissing my name and mentioning my name with vain. However, when it's time to show up in the ring and debate, y'all are a no-show. So I could do all of that capping. However, if y'all want to debate on my platform, I'm going to give y'all opportunity to come to Split Decision because we have a 2-minute limit call, right?
Yeah,
however,
2-minute limit.
For y'all, I'm going to do y'all a favor or two. At 3 or 4. And we could talk for 5 or 10 minutes long. I'm going to school you. And I'm not going to hurt you. I'm just going to hurt your feelings. So,
really?
You know what I'm saying?
We're going to do it. So, one thing I want to say is 2020, right?
Happy New Year.
New year, new decade. They say hindsight's 2020, but so do we. I don't mind bodying people, you know what I'm saying? Like my nickname was Body Snatcher, back in the day, but we want to kind of, do we want to keep it positive or make sure that we build it and that we teach it? We're still a university, right?
Oh, yeah, we still a university. Obviously, subscribe below for free to attend the Akhi University for free. All you got to do is subscribe below. If you're trying to get smart about them and if you're trying to get dumb about a second, don't listen to these casual fans. But Professor Nim, I'm not trying to be a bully now. You know what I'm saying? They coming into the comment section. And if I whoop them, it's just because I love them. You know what I mean? I just want to humble them because they come to the comment section talking all this, calling me all type of names. Now, what's funny is they not really dissing me because Akhi stand for my brother. So they really cursing their own brothers out. All that, you know what I mean? So all I'm saying is, how about point out what y'all disagree with and seek out the truth in Akhi? Because all I speak is the truth, so I don't got to prove myself. Y'all do. Prove me wrong. I'm giving y'all the opportunity and the platform to do it, to expose the Akhi. But, ain't no exposing the truth.
We got the book of truth, right?
Hey, listen. Let me show y'all a little something. So, we offer the book of the truth on Split Decision. So, if you open the book, that's exactly what you're going to get is Split Decision. So, you already know if you want to become a hardcore boxing fans, all the casual fans, that's why we here for y'all. When I say decafs, I'm talking about the dumb casual fans. When I say casual fans that want to become hardcores, y'all my Akhis all day. So subscribe below, tune in to Split Decision every Sunday. And one day, y'all will graduate from the Akhi University and become hardcore boxing fans. We got real life professors teaching at the Akhi University. Stop playing. You already know. So all this knowledge, all of this is for my Akhis that want to become hardcore boxing fans, and obviously for the casual fans that want to learn a thing or two about the sport of boxing. So let's get straight to it.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Obviously, Carissa Shield fought last night, or Friday night. Man, she looked whoa. Now, what that little baby said a song called? Whoa. That's what I was saying. I was like, whoa, hold on. Like, she too good for a female. I remember seeing her for the first time. I didn't know who she was. I didn't know who Clarissa Shield was. I saw her doing pads and on YouTube, and I was like, whoa, who is that? Like, that's exactly what I said. Whoa. That, like, who is that? That can't be just a regular female. Then I figured out she a 2-time gold medalist. And I asked, like, why she don't turn pro? And that's exactly what she did after that. But when I first laid my eyes on her, I knew she was special because the way she was throwing them punches, man, I thought I was watching, like, the guap, like you stated earlier. So what you think about her performance? Can she break the gap and become a superstar in the boxing game like Ronda Rousey did for the UFC? However, one thing for sure, she has the talent. She could back it up. So what's your take on the fight and her superstardom in the future?
Well, good. I mean, I want to start out that I enjoyed just the whole Clarissa Shields spectacle. She came out in her kind of gladiator princess kind of garb or something. I know I'm kind of messing it up. She did a little dance 1-2 to Beyonce, Girls Run This World, and I enjoyed it. I thought she's kind of accepting her role as the kind of next main attraction for women's boxing. And as far as her performance, I give it an A. The only reason that it's not an A+ is that she had opportunity to stop her. Stopping her would have really made a statement, but she dominated her throughout. She dropped her with a body shot, which was actually Clarissa Shields' first knockdown ever. And I think with Shamani, that was her first time touching the canvas. But very good win. She broke her opponent down. Very good show. She had a lot of support, at least within the boxing community. And what can you say? I think it was something that helps erase the mark of the previous bout that didn't happen with the trainer getting knocked out. And it's something that probably until I brought it up that nobody even remembered. So very good showing for Clarissa Shields.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. Now, as far as her opponent, she was fighting more kind of to survive. And at the same time, she did, like you said, when I called you, she don't have all the tools that she need to at least compete with a Shield. You know what I mean? So She only has certain tools. So she was just an opponent. However, it's going to be hard for her to find a lot of these opponents, like especially females, because what makes a superstar is it has to be like, you have to have the opponents. You get what I'm saying? Like Floyd Mayweather had the opponents. Oscar De La Hoya obviously
Muhammad Ali
had the opponents. Muhammad Ali was the character. I don't even think he needed opponents, but he had the opponents as well. And he proved himself.
He needed a Frazier. He needed a Foreman.
He needed a Frazier, but he had a Sonny Liston off the gate. I mean, he beat him like he stole something. And Sonny Liston was arguably the hardest hitter of all time at the time. So she need the opponents. However, Ronda Rousey didn't really have the opponent. There was one fighter a division above, which she never fought. However,
Cyborg,
it's the Cyborg, yeah. But and Amanda Nunes fought her and knocked her out. Now she kind of like a superstar in the MMA, and that's what Clarissa Shields is looking to do. She's looking to fight her. In my opinion, first of all, I think she could break the gap in the boxing game, because I never watched women boxing until Clarissa Shields came along. And I'm really very interested in it because seeing her skill, I was like, whoa, I never knew females could fight like that. That ass could, beat a lot of male out here.
Good technique, good form.
And she walked out with Crawford, Andre Ward, like one of the best teams in boxing. Her and Shakur have like probably the best team in boxing. So that being said, I think Clarissa Shields could break the gap because she have the looks to the hooks. The sister could fight, and she really has the personality, and she confident. One thing about her, she really confident, and she really believe everything she says, because she even trying to fight Amanda in MMA. And I thought she was joking at first, but she really serious. She talking about in a year, she basically gonna train MMA. Like, I don't know if she basically gonna like learn MMA from the start. I don't know if she have a background of wrestling and all that. And then challenge and Amanda Nunes. And you got to keep in mind, that's one of the best strikers in MMA as well. I would like that to be a boxing match because she have the power, but I don't want Clarissa Shields to go to the MMA, because for the Conor situation, for example, Conor was in his prime, 29 years old. Mayweather was 40 years old. Amanda Nunes is in her prime. Like,
It's different. It's different. So when Conor goes to fight against a Mayweather, so striking is just one aspect of MMA. So what Conor does is just
that was his best.
You know what?
That was his
the
best
only thing
field.
that you have to focus on is your best asset in there. You don't have to worry about takedowns. You don't have to worry about knees and elbows. But for a boxer to go into that arena where somebody can take you down, where somebody can knee you, where somebody can kick you, that will be a very early and a very ugly night for Clarissa Shields. I want to say.
So you don't think she has any chance?
Not at all.
Don't think so?
Amanda Nunes is a black belt Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I mean, no way. So she has head kick.
I love
this is a kickboxer. This is a true mixed martial artist. Do not do it.
I love Clarissa Shields, but if it's a boxing match, she wash her. Like we all know what time it is. She stop her.
She should.
Of course, but even though Amanda Nunes striking is her A game, like she have power, all that, but like you said, she have a black belt, and that's something. Like one thing about boxing, you could be very gifted. However, wrestling and on all that, you have to have muscle memory. She's been doing that her whole life. You don't have that muscle memory. See, boxing is a lot of it. If you gifted like Roy Jones, let's say he was an MMA fighter and one day he wanted to challenge a boxer, he could pull it off because he had the talent where he was so gifted. Muscle memory in MMA as far as wrestling is everything. You know, that's why you can't compete with a Khabib on the ground if you Conor, because that's not his A game. No, regardless of how much he trained now, he just can never top a guy that been doing it his whole life since he was a kid. So I love Clarissa Shields, but that's she crossing the line with that one. However, if she could pull it off, she automatically a superstar in the game. Like regardless of what people say, she a superstar in the boxing game, and she gonna be a worldwide figure. If she comes back to the boxing game, everybody gonna be running to fight her, not because they could beat her, but because she that star. However, I don't think she should do it because
I don't either.
You know what I mean? Like, but she got nothing to lose anyway. Like people gonna be like,
there's
it's a win-win
some challenges
situation
in boxing that she has out there. It's not many, and I understand that, but we're getting to the point where it's this kind of gimmick, kind of freak show. Like, oh, let's put these people in here who don't have any experience. It has opportunity to turn into a farce, and that's not something that I'm really interested in seeing.
I agree with you.
But I think just as far as in the boxing arena, she has star potential. When you talked to me earlier, I think that she probably needs to stop more of her opponents in there. I think that she can. She's a two-time Olympian, so she has a very ingrained amateur style. And I think that if she sits down on her punches a little bit more, and she did great body work in this fight. But if she can stop,
amateurs don't do
and if she can stop a few more of her opponents, I think she can capture the public's attention.
Yeah, I gotta point this out before I finish this topic. Obviously, she is fighting the highest competition though, because we gotta keep in mind, you know, a lot of females turn pro, they don't fight a champion until they have like 10, 20 at least fights, right? Yeah. She, with 9 fights, she beat a Lomachenko record for having and being a 2-time gold medalist, and becoming a 3-time world champion in 3 different weight divisions, and she undisputed in one of them. So that's unheard of. So she is fighting the top level from day one. So it's harder to stop the top level than like, you know, a tune-up or like a stay busy fight, right? So on to the next topic. My man, Jaron Ennis, crazy enough, we were talking about him, right? The day before. We were talking about him being the prospect of the year, and I awarded him that. You obviously awarded Virgil Ortiz, and we said we want to see them clash. Now, Jaron...
I also want to confirm, so is Jaron Ennis.
Jaron Ennis. I'm sorry, I watched too much Dragon Ball, and that's one of the characters.
The reason I know is think about... Quran and whatnot, even though I know we say it wrong in there, and then so that's how I made the connection. So it's actually Jaron Ennis. But
my bad, Jaron Ennis.
Yeah.
So Jaron Ennis, you know, he had a fight, and obviously he at the deepest division in boxing. That's the reason why welterweight always been the hottest division in boxing. You pointed out on Split Decision episode, I don't recall which episode in particular, you stated that it's the perfect combination of power and speed. Yeah. You know, heavyweight, they just have too much power. Like, you know, lighter weight divisions, a lot of speed, but not enough power. It's like the equalizer in a way. So
that perfect intersection.
And that's you can see why. We ain't even see the best fight, the best yet. Errol Spence, the Truth versus the Bud Crawford, right? And we already got a youngin in the game knocking on the door looking for some smoke. He called out Errol Spence. He called out Terrence, even though obviously he not ready because he needed at least fight a top 15 fighter yet. But it's hard for him because he can't land 25 opponents tearing down the fight. So he really has the talent. He called out these guys. We didn't get to see much of how good he is because of his opponent, but he gonna need to be a Roy Jones. A lot of people are comparing him to Roy Jones, saying that he has that type of talent. In order for him to go through this type of storm, he gonna have to be a Roy Jones. He gonna have to have a Roy Jones type of talent in order to go through this type of storm. An Errol Spence storm, a Terrence Crawford, a Sean Porter, a Danny Garcia. I mean, I could see him defeating Danny, Ugas maybe in a tough fight, and all these guys. But the Truth, Errol Spence, and Terrence. Man, that's a hell of a... There's only one level above that, and it's probably a Mayweather. They are that elite, Terrence and Errol Spence. So he looking at the big dogs. What you think about Jaron Ennis after you seen him? How you say his name?
Jaron.
Jaron Ennis. Yeah. How you think about Jaron Ennis? Because I think he's the Truth. But what do you think about his potential as a fighter, and when can he land even a world title?
Yeah, so there's a kind of a saying when you see these boxers in different gyms that kind of go like travel and different things. So anytime you're getting ready for a bout, you go to the other gym, and it's good because that the person doesn't know you, so they're going to give you that work. And they like to kind of hang their hat on the fact that if they can stop you or get you to quit or whatnot, like don't come to our gym asking for some sparring. And but if you got it, that's what they'll say. They'll be like, hey, he got it. You know what I'm saying? And
so he got it.
Basically, mean he got the goods, and that's what you see with Ennis with Boots. Like we'll call him Boots by his nickname, but I mean he has flashy hand speed, power, good movement, picture perfect technique from right, left, switches effortlessly. He's young, 22.
Yeah, and he switches. I didn't even
has a good, strong boxing mindset. So he checks all the boxes. Comes from Philly, comes from a boxing family, so has the pedigree, has the blood, and the fight that I would like to see, honestly, it's going to be hard to make it happen because of boxing politics. But I think it'll be a good measure. Is a fight against Jeff Horn. I don't know. I just pull that out there.
I think
like
that's a good fight.
Physical fight. But something that he should still win. And do that.
I think that's a good fight. That's a fair fight too, especially at this point of his career. And obviously, straight out of the gate, he called out the big dogs, just like Errol did.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Just like Keith Thurman did too. He called out Mayweather when he's just first time on HBO. That's what you're supposed to do.
Puppy.
However, I would love to see him versus Virgil Ortiz. Obviously, both of the guys. I don't think they're gonna make that fight happen anytime soon because
I would wait on that.
It's so much of
both on the same network, though, right?
No, they're not.
They not?
Are they?
Well, he
fight for.
No, that's right. He fought Showtime.
He fought on Showtime.
I'm getting mixed up because
they
had a Dazn fight that
Dazn. He fight for Dazn. Virgil Ortiz fight for Dazn.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Ennis, he fights for Showtime. However, he is a talent, and I'm looking forward to seeing his next couple fights. Like I said, he gonna need to be a Roy Jones to go through that storm, and even a poor version of Roy Jones is still great. Let's not forget, a poor version of Roy Jones is still great because Roy Jones in his prime, nobody beats him. Roy Jones in his prime, y'all must have forgot. That man is the most gifted fighter of all time. And if he retired on time, he could have went down as the greatest fighter of all time. And in my opinion, he top 5 regardless.
He definitely stayed in the game a little bit too.
So, obviously, the next topic is the topic that I want y'all to call in. All y'all decafs that in the comment section, y'all just fill my comment section up.
So kind of like not only for them, but for me, like explain decaf. Because somebody actually had wrote about it. It was like, you're a decaf. And I thought it was like, oh, that means you don't have any energy. Like,
oh, no. So a decaf is... No. So, all right, so
he called you
because obviously there's a lot of people, like casual fans that tune in and watch the sport of boxing. So we don't want to diss the casual fans because obviously the casual fans could be anybody. However, the decaf is a dumb ass casual fan. That basically is a term that Dante created in new media that I'm a part of. He created this term because to differentiate between the casual fans and the dumb casual fans. That's just like for example, no disrespect to Pacquiao, one of my favorite fighters of all time, but his fan base sometimes say the wildest things like, oh man, he like once I had somebody say he Jesus. So it's like that's a dumb casual fan. You get what I'm saying? So all the decafs, call in. I want y'all to call in and let's get straight to it. Now
let's get to it.
Man, listen, hold on. You already know. You got where's your little puppy at? Because I got the grown line.
Simba. This is the original right here. This Simba right here.
Listen, stop playing with me. I got Charlo in the house. So he in front of the strap. So you gonna put him in front of the strap? It's okay.
Somebody just called out Charlo too.
So okay, but before we get to that, Canelo Alvarez is fighting my man Saunders on May 2nd. Mexican Independent Day. He came out stating that it's a difficult fight. He stated that he's a great fighter. It's going to be a good fight. And he said that he run Mexican Independent Day. That's his weekend. He own it. Mayweather no longer around. He don't run May Day no more. He owns it, right? So that's what Canelo's talking. You know, that's the type of energy he brought out to the table. Now, the $1 million question that I want to ask you, Professor Nin, is what the hell did Saunders do to earn a title with Canelo? Because you always tell me, oh, Charlo haven't did this, Charlo haven't did that, Andre haven't did this, Andre haven't did that. Name me the guy Saunders beat to earn a Canelo shot, please.
Right, so we were speaking about 160. So also
they fighting at 168, just to let it be known.
Okay. All right, but so most of my arguments for Canelo at 160, but I will say that Billy Joe Saunders, he did beat David Lemieux pretty decisively at 160. The reason that he's getting this fight is because I talk about it all the time. I'm not advocating for it, but like I'm just giving you insight into some of the boxing politics and business.
So you think Canelo fought him because he beat Lemieux?
No. What I'm saying, you asked me what has he done, so he can actually say that.
No, I'm just saying who he beat to earn this title.
No. So the thing about David Lemieux,
name me a fighter.
But Billy Joe Saunders
don't
is
backtrack.
Like he offers like some risk, not a whole lot, but some risk. And a modicum of a reward because people know his name. He has a bit of an international following.
I know you ain't saying he's cherry picking. From the sound of it, you saying he cherry picking because the way you put it, you saying he's trying to fight somebody that's not a threat like this line over here.
I said
that has his
some risk, not like an Andrade. Let's be honest. Like that's why the Akhi here to spit the truth real quick. You know what I'm saying? I hope the mic don't burn like last time because the mic was burning last time. So Andrade on one hand, obviously, and Charlo, they look great. Both of their last fights. Saunders look horrible. I mean, he had an unknown fighter, an unknown guy, beat him almost every single round up to that point he knocked him out. And that's an unknown fighter. And all of a sudden, Canelo went from saying, this guy runs too much. I don't like his style. And these are code words of I can't beat that style. I don't like that style. I'm limited. I can't only beat fighters that come at me. I can't fight somebody that's running away from me, that's going to dance like Ali does. And then he said the same thing about Andrade. However, as soon as Saunders looked horrible, he fought him. Like now he negotiations about to fight him May 2nd, right? And now he talking about he a great fighter. I thought he said he boring. Now he a great fighter. Who the hell he be at 168? The only thing he did that I know is that he turned down a fight with Andrade. The same guy he took steroids in order to beat. And he got caught with it. To beat, he didn't fight him.
He never fight him. So he needed steroids in order to hop in the ring with Andrade, right? So keep in mind, he turned down a rematch at 168. DAZN offered him. So Canelo got busted for PEDs. Saunders got busted for PEDs. Is that the requirement? Is the blueprint get busted for PEDs, look horrible, and he gonna fight you? Please explain, Professor Nen, because that's your guy.
I'll do. So, do we want to give out? Do we want to drop the number?
Oh, yeah,
and
let me call it.
let
me put a number. Yeah.
Yeah. So we got the headphones. And listen, I'm not a Canelo apologist. If you ask me the fight that I want to see right now with Canelo, to be honest, it would probably be with Andrade. I think that Andrade needs an opportunity to go ahead and it's a tough matchup, but at the same time, it's he's treating it. He is a business. He's a commodity. So I think that's how
he's a businessman now.
He is.
So let me tell you this.
Just like Floyd was.
So obviously I dropped the number in the comment section. So call in. But I'm saying I know that he's supposed to fight Andrade. That's what I've been pushing for the whole time, and I've been telling you that he been avoided Andrade and Charlo. And you've been saying that he basically is making business decision. He's not ducking. However, he fighting Saunders now, and you telling Andrade and Charlo to do this and do that in order to earn a title shot. But Saunders haven't did a thing since he got busted for PEDs. He haven't did a thing. Like, I'm dead ass. Like, he haven't fought nobody. He only looked horrible his last fight, and that's the guy that Canelo is fighting next. I kid you not. So it was first Kovalev. Now it's Saunders. So who is next? Who next? I mean, is it Akhi next? The guy that never had a pro fight? You know what I mean? So
you wish.
I mean, like, I hit the ground as soon as I fight that man. But I'm saying I get paid. That's what Saunders is doing. Of course he gonna take that fight. I'm not discrediting Saunders, but Saunders turned down a fight with the same man that he got busted for PEDs for. All these casual fans and decals that keep coming to my comment section saying Charlo or nobody, Andrade or nobody. Well, what's up with Saunders? Who is he? That's the same guy that don't want to fight those guys. Just like Canelo. So the hopeless fighters going to fight each other. Gennady Golovkin, Saunders, Canelo. And the coincidentalist fighters going to fight each other. And that's a Charlo, Andrade, Errol Spence, Terence Crawford. Because these guys on the hopeless don't want that smoke. And that's the hard reality. And that's the harsh reality. All these Canelo fans, I just dropped the phone number. Since we started Split Decision, Professor Nim, we had 4 episodes live. We haven't had one Canelo fan call in to debate with this Akhi. They don't want this smoke. They don't want to seek out the truth in this Akhi because they don't want to hear the truth. All they doing is listening behind the phones on the computer, telling their friend like, "Yo, call in." And he like, "Man, nah, man, I don't want that smoke with the Akhi because man, he speak too much truth." And obviously, you can never speak too much truth because if I would have did, I would have had the mic burning right now, on fire. So, anyways, I dropped the number. I guess one of my Akhis call in since these casual fans, and I mean, I'm sorry, these decals don't want to call in because, like I said, I literally just made a Canelo video and most of the comments was just hate. And like I said, I respect everybody's opinion. If you bring up a couple good points to the table, I'm willing to debate with you and talk with you. However, all they doing is talking ish, saying Akhi, you this and that. Meanwhile, they cursing their own Migo and their own brother out because Akhi stand for my brother, my Migo. However you say it in Filipino. But at the end of the day, I want y'all to call in because I'm tired of y'all in the comment section. I want to hear y'all. I want to.
Right now, Akhi. So if you had your druthers, who would you have Canelo fight right now?
Can you repeat the question real quick? I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
I'm saying like if you had your choice, like your druthers, like who would you have Canelo fight right now?
Oh, if it was my choice, I have him fight Charlo and Andrade, but we got to call
Charlo and Andrade. Okay,
let me pick it up. Hold on. I got to connect you to the phone line. Give me a second. But yeah, I have him fight Andrade or Charlo. What the comment section is saying.
I'll get to that in a second. We'll take the call though.
I know nobody's talking ish. I know that.
So somebody was Dundada says why don't Canelo fight David Benavidez?
Oh, cause he Mexican. That's what he said. The latest thing I heard from him is that he Mexican. So obviously he don't want to fight his brothers, but he had no problem fighting Angulo or
we got a call though, so let's go ahead.
Yeah, let's get straight to it.
What's going on, brother?
Lopez.
Yo,
I can't hear nothing.
I got you. Yeah, go ahead.
Hold on.
Yo, what's your area code that you calling from? State your name.
Hey, You know, it's Big Billy Walters 2.0 coming from 864 Spartanburg, South Carolina.
What's good with you?
Akhi, first off, I just want to tell you, man,
I can't hear you.
love you, man. I'm just a new fan, kind of, coming up. I'm young, and, a lot of people down here don't have, a certain type of respect for, the culture. And, I learned a lot from you. And for all those Canelo fans, turn this up. He ducking smoke. He don't want nothing with Errol Spence. He don't want nothing with Charlo. You better preach to him. Dangerous. Them boys dangerous, man. It's the real deal. The thing is, it's just like you say, keep on. It's like he ducking. You know what I'm saying? He ducking.
Yeah, he don't want to smoke for sure. And all I'm saying is, I want to see those fights. I want to see Charlo versus Canelo. I want to see Andrade versus Canelo. If y'all saying Canelo is the best, all we want is to see him versus the best. I'm not saying if you feel like Canelo could beat him, well, let me see it. You know what I mean? I don't want to have to keep thinking of breaking it down. I mean, we've been doing that for 5 years. They've said Floyd Mayweather fought Manny Pacquiao too late when Manny Pacquiao turned down the fight because of a drug test. However, Canelo won't even negotiate with a Charlo and Andrade for 5 years. That's 5 years now. Y'all talking about Canelo. Y'all talking about Floyd Mayweather when Canelo ain't even willing to sit and negotiate with Andrade or Charlo for the past 5 years, and they've been in the same division.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Another side note, man. I know we on Canelo, but man, a shout out to the lightweight division out there. And because it seems like, man, I'm hoping. I know that y'all say the boxing politics, but I'm thinking that maybe we can get some smoke soon with these young guys, man.
Yeah. No, we definitely gonna get some good fights like T.O. and what's my man Lomachenko and hopefully Devin and Ryan fight each other and all that.
Lomachenko, man. I work at BMW, which is German, and man, those Germans love Lomachenko, man. And I just feel like, bro, we talk all the time, and like I tell them, he ducking to me. He ducking. I mean, you look at the fight with Luke Campbell. Hell, he barely got through with that. Let's be honest.
Yeah, hey, he don't want to see Devin Haney. He gave up his strap for good reasons. You know what I'm saying? He talked about he said Gervonta Tank Davis is a businessman. He not a fighter. However, I see you making business decisions, Lomachenko. So it's not okay for Gervonta to make business decisions. But it's okay for you to make business decisions. You know what I'm saying? So it's like keep the same energy. Either you a different breed and you're gonna fight everybody, or you basically you're gonna basically not say a thing and do whatever these fighters do. You know what I mean?
And another thing, we need to call his bluff, I feel like, because you say, in the interview he tried to throw some smoke and say, I fight, to be an athlete. Those are businessmen. But like you say, it's so many business decisions that he's making. It's like, when they gonna let that man off the ropes and fight the real guys? But we'll never see.
Man, he's such a businessman. He should have joined Wall Street because, like I said, everything been a business decision. But I appreciate you for calling in, though, man. Had a great time, and we're gonna keep the show rolling.
Yeah, man.
All right, Kakalaka, peace out. Appreciate the love.
Right.
Yeah, definitely appreciate it. Thank you for saving the date. I thought you were saying somebody tried to debate with me. That's why you handed it to me.
No, he was like, brother Akhi, so he wanted to holler at you.
Oh, yeah, I don't know what's up
with you got your beats out there. I ain't trying to hate on them.
Oh, yeah, man, my beats, I don't know what happened. So
they might want to sponsor, son.
I don't know, man. I don't know sponsoring them after this.
All right, so what's we want to slide to the next topic?
Yeah, slide to the next topic. What we got next? Because we didn't got, I don't see Canelo fans calling in.
They not.
We running out of time. Hold on. Listen.
Right now it's
we need more time in our day. Y'all need to call in if y'all want some smoke. All these people hating on my drip and all that, but I get my drip overseas. This right here overseas. Stop playing with him. I'm trying to see where y'all Canelo fans at.
Now we can jump to the next fan base because the next topic is Manny Pacquiao calls out Bud and the truth, Errol Spence. But you think that it is most likely that Errol Spence Jr. will be next?
Yes, sir. Now, I definitely feel like that Errol Spence will get that opportunity because if Terrence was gonna get it, he would have had it a long time ago. When Manny Pacquiao was still with Bob Arum, when he was still a little bit younger, when he was fighting for Bob Arum for I don't know how many years, and all of a sudden he left. At first we heard that he turned down the fight. Then Bob Arum said that wasn't true, that he was the one that stopped the fight from happening because he cared about Manny Pacquiao health. And I'm like, what? Like, he just beat a Keith Thurman, bro. Like, he just beat a Broner. I mean, like, let's not act like Manny Pacquiao can't fight. Like, even a grandpa Manny Pacquiao could fight. So let's not act like you're trying to protect him. So I don't know what was the case. However, now he calling out Bud. Now he calling out my man Errol Spence. Obviously, Errol Spence stated that he wants to fight Danny Garcia, Manny Pacquiao. Bud doesn't matter. However, he wants to fight in May. Manny Pacquiao stated he wanted to come back in April or May. So that being said, they on a collide course. So if they do meet, Manny Pacquiao, I know one time stated that he gonna retire you. However, man, I sad to say, but I don't even want to see Manny Pacquiao retire. But
Well, who was that? Because I
think Errol Spence gonna retire him.
Man. I know Keith Thurman said that, but I don't remember. Errol Spence said he was gonna retire.
No, I'm saying Errol Spence will retire him. I keep saying it. Errol Spence didn't say it.
Okay, if they fight.
I feel like Errol Spence, the way he goes to the body, the way he applies pressure, the way he relentless in the ring, like Manny ain't gonna have an escape route. Like Keith Thurman had a fight outside of his pocket when he fought Manny Pacquiao because he was trying to apply pressure. Keith Thurman, when he stepped up in competition, he usually moved around the ring the whole night. Even though he the power puncher.
I don't know why.
Though he the power puncher, he not comfortable in the inside. He likes to fight at a distance. That's a Manny Pacquiao style right there. Manny Pacquiao comfortable with that. On the other hand, Errol Spence, he could box. He showed that against Mikey Garcia. He could also bang. People saying, oh man, look at what Porter did to Errol Spence. Let's not play triangle theories. And we already know Manny, stylistically, a Porter fight is horrible for him because we saw what Jeff Horn did to him. And Jeff Horn is not even close to being a Porter. And Errol Spence handled that the way you think he will move around and box. He actually banged with a brawler and beat him at his own game. So if he fight Manny Pacquiao, I'm sorry to say, but Manny Pacquiao, man, every dog has his day, and his day will come when they do meet in the ring. I think he will retire him. Even though I don't want to see the man retire.
Without any kind of warm-up, because we haven't seen Errol Spence in the ring.
I mean, that's true.
Last time I saw him, he was about 100 and
That's true, and that's why I think
pounds.
Manny Pacquiao is interested. Manny Pacquiao is interested because he sees... because Errol Spence called him out after the Mikey Garcia fight. He was like, man, come over here.
Absolutely.
And Manny didn't look like he was too interested.
Like, as he should. Yeah.
He fought Keith Thurman, as he should, because Keith Thurman was coming off a bad performance. Errol Spence was coming off a tremendous performance. Obviously, he did his calculations, and he realized, like, hold on. Fighting Keith Thurman is a better idea for a 40-year-old man, right? I'm not going to blame him.
A business decision, right?
A business decision, but a 40-year-old business decision.
Yeah, true.
A 40-year-old also tried to fight my man Lomachenko that turned it down. You know what I'm saying? But let's keep going. So as far as Manny, obviously he sees Errol Spence opportunity right after a car crash. You know how big of a fight his next fight going to be because people want to see how well Errol Spence is doing. And also, if you fight Manny Pacquiao, that's basically that Mayweather or the Oscar de la Hoya for Mayweather, the Oscar de la Hoya for Pacquiao that's going to make him a superstar in the game.
Take in their fans.
Yeah. We have a call
through.
in. Let me answer it real quick before we get to the next topic.
Yo, what's good? Yo,
I think my beats are dead. That's why.
Yo, put it on Bluetooth with that.
Yeah, what you say?
You put it on. It's not on Bluetooth.
Yeah, I got it.
It's not.
They can hear it. They can hear it this way. It's better. Yeah, what you said?
You sure?
I just want to talk about that Manny Pacquiao calling out Crawford and everybody, but he didn't want Crawford a couple years ago.
Oh yeah, he sure didn't want Crawford. I mean, he didn't even mention Crawford.
Because he's smart. because he a veteran. He been in the game.
He know what time it is. I mean, like even Sugar Shane Mosley. Remember, Sugar Shane Mosley wanted to fight Pacquiao right after he knocked out Margarito. Then they told him, "Hold on, you gotta fight at a catchweight." And he was like, "Why you want to fight me at a catchweight when you fought Cotto at 147?" He was like, "Well, you're not Cotto, you Sugar Shane." So I'm just saying that just to point out what Freddie Roach said to Sugar Shane, and he admitted it. Like it ain't like he was like making it a big deal out of it. He just admitted like, oh yeah, we didn't want to fight Sugar Shane at the time. And guess who fought him at the time?
Sure.
Exactly,
Floyd,
but they saying Floyd Mayweather cherry picks, and Manny Pacquiao fought Sugar Shane right after Floyd. So my point exactly, and he didn't want. Obviously, you could tell he didn't want the Crawford smoke. However, Errol Spence is a big fight, is a big pay-per-view fight, could sell $1 million or $2 million, and obviously Errol Spence is coming off a car accident, so it's only right. The time is perfect.
Tell him give his name and his area
Black
code.
fighters never get warm-up fights though. Why? Spence should get after that car accident. Don't you think he should take a little easy warm-up fight before he jump in the ring with these lines and stuff? I mean, I don't think it's fair.
Well, he's treating Errol Spence, man. He's so like he the truth for a reason. He feel like he gonna Danny Garcia is a tune-up. He feel like Manny Pacquiao's a tune-up.
But he also not on Wolverine, so maybe before going into the biggest fight.
If it be Alvarez, Canelo, he take tune-up fight, another tune-up
He
fight.
do.
Canelo,
It's nothing wrong. Floyd even took a tune-up fight before.
Then he gonna jump in the ring. You know Pacquiao, everybody know Pacquiao on the juice.
Hey, listen. Canelo could be on something and he still take up tune-up fights. You know what I'm saying? Errol Spence off a car accident, he could take 2 for tune-up fights, and he chooses to go to the smoke straight away. Like they cut from 2 different cloth. That's what it is. That's why you can't compare Errol Spence or whatchamacallit I'm sorry, Errol Spence and a Manny Pacquiao or a Canelo. Professor Ness asked you something though.
No, I'm saying, yo, bro, just state your name and your area code. We want to make sure you get it out there.
Yes.
Okay. I'm Abdul Hafiz, and I'm from the 252, North Carolina.
That's what's
see,
good.
you from my city. Stop playing.
Yeah, from Akhi.
Okay. I got you. Yeah, but any more thoughts you want to get out there?
And I also want to say, I'm looking at Deontay Wilder. Why no one gives him credit for being a top pound-for-pound fighter? He fought Ortiz. He's going to fight Tyson. Beat Tyson.
He did.
He's going to fight AJ.
Well, he didn't beat Tyson though.
Yeah, but he fought him.
He fought him.
Yeah, but it was a draw. So I mean,
you're right
something.
about that.
Yeah,
I think that. Listen,
He got him down for 10 seconds.
Guess what? New media, we give him his props. So, like I said, Deontay Wilder, he another fighter on the coincidental list. So, obviously, they're not going to give him his props because at the end of the day, they claim Floyd Mayweather was too boring. Floyd Mayweather, he's too good. He don't get hit, right? Oh, but he don't get knockouts, even though he a perfectionist, right? Now, Deontay Wilder, on the other hand, he lacked technique. They want to focus on that, but they don't want to focus on him knocking out almost every single opponent, right? You know what I'm saying? Putting him in comas, putting him on a meme. You know what I mean? Like Deontay Wilder, every opponent he faced, he almost turned out to be a meme. Like Dillian White want to be the next meme too, so he gonna get that work as well when he becomes a mandatory.
I mean, Deontay gives to everybody. He fought Ortiz twice, and everybody else been scared to fight him once. And you gotta give that man the credit, man. He got to be on the pound list.
Yeah, he definitely number 6 or 5 at least.
He definitely has the heart. I think what people, what is hard for some people is that looking at it, that because of his lack of technique, when you think about pound for pound, you think about those skills and how they transcend through all the other different weight classes.
If you get the shot
it
done,
do that, but I'm
as
saying
long as you
like
get the shot
I'm
done.
just trying to explain why he hasn't received the accolation that you might think. That
I think it's because of what he looked like. I don't think it's because of his skill. Because I promise you, if he had a different, if he had a different complexion, he'd be pound for pound number 1. They praise him. I mean, Rocky Marciano, they still praise him to this day, and that man fought nobody. And Wilder is out here fighting Ortiz, Fury, Brazil.
Good.
And I'm talking about he rematching Fury for the second time. A 6'9" target that moves all day. He calling out AJ. He gave Ortiz a second chance when Ortiz is the boogeyman of the division. And obviously they talking about Wilder resume and want to focus on that. But when they talk about Rocky Marciano, they like, they ignore Rocky Marciano only fought for like 7 years and fought a 50-year-old Joe Louis. But I appreciate you for calling in.
You went to like 50 years ago.
Yeah, but I appreciate you for calling in, Akhi. We got to keep the show rolling and tune in and call in every show, all right?
Man, appreciate the love.
All right. Alaikum assalam, Akhi. Okay, that's a real brother right here. That's a real brother. My man says salamu alaikum wa alaikum assalam to all my brothers out there. So, like I said for Pacquiao, man, obviously, didn't I tell you he was going to fight Errol Spence because PBC going to pressure them? I told you he wasn't going to fight Mikey. Because Mikey...
Nothing's been signed yet.
I know, but I'm saying Mikey...
I don't know if that fight's happening.
I'm saying Mikey, on one hand, like, I don't think... Like Errol Spence can't justify fighting Mikey right away. You know what I mean? Mikey coming off the biggest ass whooping of the year.
You mean Manny Pacquiao?
Yeah, Manny Pacquiao. He can't justify fighting Mikey. Danny Garcia, on the other hand, doesn't have a strap and still a threat. Errol Spence obviously is more than a threat, but he brings a lot to the table and is that element of surprise that you don't know. Oh, how is he doing after the accident? Is he the same? If he get punched, is he gonna react the same? Obviously, that's things that Errol Spence is gonna have to figure out.
And they can build up a fight. Right? It adds a narrative. It adds a story.
Off that, they could build the fight. But let me get to the next topic. Unless you want to finish the thoughts on this one in particular.
No, I think so. One thing that I want to say that I think was Brian Romero. I was gonna say it, but I'm gonna bring it up since he brought up that Pacquiao did fight Cotto at a catchweight. It was at 145. If I'm not mistaken, it was a welterweight fight, but it was at a catchweight.
I'm sorry. He said that about Clottey.
Okay,
Freddie Ray said it about Clottey. Okay, I'm sorry. He did fight Cotto at a catchweight too. That's why Pacquiao the king of catchweights, and obviously Canelo done took that throne from him. So on to the next topic. AJ came out saying that he basically have
stage fright, and he's not not as confident as Wilder, but he's basically saying that even the rematch he wanted to turn around, but he knew that he already walked himself into something that he has to finish. So it's actually great to hear for a guy to actually go through that and be a world champion, because you think that world champions are like, animals in there. Like, you think every world champion has the heart of a Wilder as far as confident-wise. Like, Prince Nassim Hamed, a fighter that's going to talk his ish and back it up. Floyd Mayweather.
Like, Floyd Mayweather. Like, Floyd really believed he the greatest of all time. Roy Jones really believed he the greatest of all time. Ali really believed he was the greatest of all time. They go in the ring like, man, I don't care about what this guy brings to the table. AJ, on the other hand, he a guy that, like, he second guessing himself. He don't know if he belong on this level or not, even though he the champion. So it's actually great to hear a person could go through stuff like that and still pull off and be a world champion. That's why as a kid, they tell the kid, build your confidence, because you could be whatever you want to be. However, one thing that won't help you in the ring with a Deontay Wilder. You know what I'm saying? Like Deontay Wilder walking in the ring ready to take your head off. And you out here talking about, like, you second guessing yourself. Wilder is picturing how he gonna put you on the meme. He drawing the picture like, okay, I'm gonna hit him with a right hand like this, and he gonna fall on sections like that, on section 8 or something. You know what I'm saying? And my man AJ, on the other hand, is walking to the ring, dying himself. That's a huge advantage for Wilder. And I don't know why AJ put it out there. It's one thing to go through it, but I will put it out there once I retire, so I know my opponent can't use it against me. Now, Deontay Wilder might scare him during the face-to-face. I'm going to kill you. Like, I mean, he could say anything to him and frighten him, right? I don't know why AJ gave, like, that's like almost, like, my teachers used to tell me, obviously Professor Nan, he my teacher as well. He was one of my teachers at the university I went to, right? They used to tell me, reading the question and understanding the question is half of the answer. And I believe that in the ring as well. Understanding your opponent's style, what he loves to do, And even his confidence in a way, like seeing that he downed himself. Oh, I'm gonna get to you, like the Ali thing. The Ali when he goes into the I'm the greatest. I'm this. Oh, you a sucker. I'm gonna whip you. The way he did Sonny Liston. Sonny Liston was a gangster.
Frazier.
Like forget AJ. Forget AJ. We talking about Sonny Liston was a gangster. Like he went to jail. Like he was a real life gangster.
No, he was tied to the mafia.
And Wilder had him second guessing himself. So imagine somebody that's already second guessing himself. Picture what Wilder will do to that man. So, what's your take on the whole situation and everything that I brought up?
You were saying that it's a good thing to kind of see these stories, and I'm like, if I'm his trainer, it's like, no, it's not. Like, when you retire and you write a book, you can kind of talk about, I had this, but when you are in the middle or the midst of a career and you are trying to be the king of the hill. No, I don't want to reveal any kind of chinks in the armor at all. Like, so I'm like, I don't want to hear about any of this. Like, that's not good. It's good for the person that's like looking up and like building his confidence. But if I'm his trainer or his promoter, I'm like, what are you doing? No, do not put this out there, because with Wilder has this kind of naivete that kind of works for him in a sense, right? So he doesn't overthink things. And with Anthony Joshua, he is thoughtful. He's even a little pedantic at times where he overthinks things. So you can kind of see it. He's like thinking about this moment, this situation. Wilder's like, man, I need to just put my right fist against this dude's chin and he need to fall asleep. And then we're going to go to that. I mean, that's all he thinks about. He's not thinking about all this other situation about, he was like, you know what, I need to go in and like, I don't care if I get outboxed for 11 and a half rounds. Once I put my right hand on this guy's chin, he's going down. And then that actually seems to work for him in this case.
Yeah, and like you said, that's not something you want to like let the world know, especially while you active. No. You know what I mean? Like that's why I told you I was
like write a book.
You know what I mean? Like you said, use advantage. Like write a book, and people gonna be like, what? You had a stage fright, whatever. Like it's more so not a stage fright. It's something else. He named it. You know. I'm not too familiar with it. Obviously, people have it, but I didn't think of a boxer.
So there's different things. There's anxiety attacks that people have where they can't really kind of control their breathing, and other things. And I mean, all those things are basically a form of stage fright because of the extent of the stage or the extent of the event that you're attending. Your normal bodily, functions are reacting in a different way. Whether your heartbeat is like going up to a pace that's not healthy, or your anxiety level, or things that you're kind of like think about, or you just kind of like break down. So, but usually the athletes who are used to performing at this stage over a period of time, when you think about Joshua, who is a Olympic champion and has fought at 80,000 plus at Wembley Stadium, you think that he has
doesn't have it, at least.
Yeah, that he wouldn't have it. So it's definitely interesting and intriguing to hear about that. As his trainer, I want to deal with that situation, but be honest, I wouldn't rather not have that out there.
If I have that conversation with him and I'm his trainer, it will stay in the room. It would not be worldwide news. That's one thing for sure. But he stated that he have mental health issues and anxiety attack. Never heard it before. I don't know.
And anxiety.
Anxiety attacks. Yeah. So, like I said, I don't think that's the information he should have really put out there in the public. So that's not definitely an advantage for his case. Now on to the next topic. ESPN and Top Rank signs Nui last week. And like a couple of days ago, Josh Taylor, they set up a mega fight. They looking to set up a mega fight between him and Ramirez, then Terrence Crawford down the line. Obviously, it'd be a two-time world, undisputed champion versus an undisputed champion. The last two undisputed champions at 140. I mean, that's going to be a hell of a fight on pay-per-view. What you think?
Who are you referring to?
Josh Taylor.
Against who?
Against Terrence Crawford. So ESPN.
Crawford is talking about Terrence going down?
No, follow me here.
Okay.
So basically, don't worry about what I wrote. So basically, ESPN signed Josh Taylor and Inoue.
Yeah.
And I don't know why they gave up them two guys when those are potential stars, you know, in the boxing game. They gave up them two fighters and signed, or not, gave Mikey Garcia $7 million to fight one time on their network, giving up their number 140 pounder, Josh Taylor. Huge mistake by Dazn and Eddie Hearn, giving up Inoue and Josh Taylor. But it is what it is. So Top Rank did a genius move. He knows how to stay in the game. He signed those guys, and Josh Taylor, obviously, he could set up a fight for him against Ramirez for undisputed. Yeah. And then it's a no-brainer. The next fight after that is him and Terrence Crawford. Moves up to 140 and fight the guy, the so-called pound-for-pound number one. And Josh Taylor belongs in the ring with him. So what I'm asking you is, what's up with Dazn making such a huge mistake? Hosting YouTube fights instead. And now, obviously, ESPN has the ball in their court. And what do you think about Terrence Crawford versus Josh Taylor fight?
Well, you have to think about, and I don't want to kind of cast aspersion at this point, but with Dazn, the two main promoters that they have been working with is Eddie Hearn and Oscar De La Hoya, who's part of like Golden Boy. And when it comes to their business acumen and strategy, they're going to be outpaced easily by Al Hammond especially, but even a Bob Arum. So they've been outmaneuvered at this point. I think with Inoue, you get a top 5 pound-for-pound fighter. He just won the Muhammad Ali trophy for the, was it junior bantamweight?
Yeah.
China. And then you have Josh Taylor, who's, you say he's undisputed at 140.
No, he ain't undisputed yet.
Okay, he's not undisputed.
He about to be if he fight Ramirez.
Was previously, at
yeah,
one,
but
so
he will be soon.
That.
So, I just want to point out. Hold on, pick up the phone call. Somebody called in. But you don't got to. I just put him on the speaker. Hold on for a second, Akhi. I just wanted to respond to the comment section real quick. Desire Perito. I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name, but
Desiree.
She said boxing has too much. Desiree, yeah.
Perito.
Perito, whatever, however you say it. Shout out to you. Boxing has too much politics to make the fights people want to see. Exactly. That's the issue of boxing. I feel like if they do fix that issue in particular, boxing will possibly be bigger than the NBA, NFL, and all sports almost in America. But because they don't, obviously, people are not going to be as interested because anybody is willing to sit down and watch a great fight. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to know nothing. Like, you could have no knowledge of the sport and watch a great fight and appreciate it. But sometimes, all sports, if you're not a fan of football, you're not going to watch football. You know what I'm saying? So boxing could be that biggest sport. It's just the politics holds it back. So let me, answer the caller.
Yeah.
How you doing, Akhi? State where you calling from and what's your name?
Yo, my name Chris. I'm calling from California, brother.
Cali, what's good?
Cali in the house. How you doing?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you a question. In 2007, when Mayweather fought De La Hoya, they were saying that Mayweather was pound for pound number one.
They did.
I have something to say about that. I don't think he was pound for pound number one going into that fight.
So who was?
Bernard Hopkins, because Antonio Tarver beat Roy Jones to become pound for pound number one. Hopkins moved up from 160 to 175 at the age of 41 in 2006 to beat Antonio Tarver, which made him pound for pound number one.
But he lost to Taylor. Right? He lost to Taylor twice at 160.
He lost to Taylor before he fought.
Exactly. Floyd Mayweather never lost to nobody. Floyd Mayweather moved up. Listen, hold on.
When you beat the pound for pound number one, you become pound for pound number one.
Hey, hold on. So was Tarver pound for pound number one?
That's what I'm saying. Tarver was never pound for pound.
Roy Jones was pound for pound number one.
Roy Jones, yes, he was.
No, he wasn't.
never
no,
pound
he
for
wasn't.
pound
Get
number
your
one.
facts straight. That's you don't know what you're talking about.
Bro, you get your facts straight.
Tarver was not pound for. Listen.
Tarver
Ain't
has never
nobody
been pound for
arguing
pound.
about Floyd
Yeah.
Mayweather being pound for pound when he fought Oscar De La Hoya, because even before he whipped your favorite fighter Oscar, he was pound for pound number one, no question. I'm just saying. So what's your you called to see if Floyd Mayweather was pound for pound? Go check with the rankings. Why are you checking with the Akhi?
No, I mean,
But I'm just saying,
no,
like
he
you out here,
he has an
calling
argument,
in.
but I'm saying it's just like it's
Man,
still,
he has no argument. How you gonna call in
No,
talking
what
about?
I'm saying, his premise can be flawed, but he's still putting forth an argument. Well, what I'm saying is that Antonio Tarver,
hold on.
what his conclusion is that, but Roy Jones was number one. Antonio Tarver beat him, but he was never recognized as number one pound for pound.
Who wasn't?
Antonio Tarver was never recognized
Exactly.
as
So
pound
he
for
need
pound.
to get his facts straight before calling out saying something. Get your facts straight. I never said that. I said Floyd Mayweather is number one pound for pound when he fought Oscar De La Hoya. The whole world knew that. If you have a problem with that, go call the sectioning fees, whoever, because that's who. I mean, Floyd Mayweather was no question pound for pound number one. So you got any other questions beside that?
Stop it.
All right, bye. So, like I said, at the end of the day, like, we don't want to spend too much time on somebody that's not even making sense. Like, we bringing dollars to the table. They bring in a sense or two. You know what I'm saying? I don't got the time to waste on some nonsense. So what I'm saying, Floyd Mayweather was no question pound for pound number one. Just to show you how ridiculous the statement was, Hopkins was one of the pound for pound fighters at the time, arguably number one when Roy Jones lost. But he lost to Tarver twice. And
Taylor.
not what Taylor. Not once, twice. So what? Tarver beat Roy Jones. That's not the same Roy Jones. Roy Jones lost 10 pounds or 15 pounds
He lost
of
more than
muscle.
that. Yeah.
And obviously he was 36 years old. And when Tarver beat him, everybody knew he wasn't pound for pound number one. So when Hopkins moved up and beat him, it was like, oh, okay, it was credit to Hopkins because he was 41, but it ain't like, oh, he was pound for pound number one. Everybody knew that, including his biggest haters, Jim Lampley. So like, you can't really, how you gonna say he making sense? Like, oh, he trying.
No,
we don't get credit for trying. You gotta get it right.
He does.
Or
what I'm saying is that his argument wasn't based on, I don't like this guy, I don't like his style. He's basically was saying that this guy had beat this guy who was recognized as this person, so it was flawed.
Listen,
but what I'm saying is like it's still an argument that's not based off of feelings.
I feel like it is because he hating on Floyd. First of all, do you agree with him or disagree?
No, listen.
Just one word: agree or disagree.
It's more nuanced than that. I disagree, of course.
Okay, that's it. So that's all I'm saying. So why waste the time on a statement that has so much flaws in it?
No, what I'm saying is like I want people to call in and then we can educate them on why they shouldn't make that argument.
Or they could listen and get educated without wasting our time. Listen,
it's not wasting our time. No, man,
it's wasting our time because
if you're watching this show, you call in, you're not wasting our time.
You could call in to debate on a topic that we talking about. Let's say I brought up a point and said something, and he called in, okay, you said this and that. But if he said something, he went back to 2007. Bro, ain't nobody care about that. Like, ain't nobody care who was pound for pound number one 2007, and the whole world knew.
But
so let's on to the next topic.
We can educate. But yeah, let's go to the next topic.
So obviously he cut us off, but see, you cut her off from our topic, and we got to stick to the topic. Like I said, we got to stick to the topics that we talking about. So
we're going to J-Rock.
You know, talking about the Josh Taylor versus Terrence Crawford, I think that's a great mega fight in the future for both of them guys. And if Terrence can get the Errol Spence fight, because Errol Spence too busy fighting the PBC fighters, or maybe he needed a comeback, one to two comeback fights. Maybe he's not the same. Then obviously Terrence is gonna have to stay busy. So who is he gonna fight? Maybe a Patrick at 154, and then a guy like Josh Taylor at 147. That's a hell of a fight. Now, obviously, last week we talked about Crawford and Errol Spence, them going back and forth. So they went back and forth, and I must clear this out the way. I actually made a video on this, and I said Errol Spence made the call, but I stayed incorrected. I didn't see the tweet where Terrence Crawford stated that I'm about to call you, pick up the phone. Remember when they met in person? And he told him, I called you earlier, you didn't pick up. He was like, I don't know your number. Terrence Crawford told Errol Spence, well, save it. So what I'm saying is he did save it and he did pick up the call because he is the truth. However, when Crawford called him, he like, man, what's up, man? We gonna fight or not? And Errol Spence obviously told him, man, why you over here acting like a, you know, a loco? You ain't amigo. Why you acting like a loco looking for some smoke? Calm down, bud. I'ma give you that smoke, bud. Obviously, that's not how the conversation went, but I'm just giving you basically like, because Terrence after that tweeted saying, the summary of, because Terrence tweeted saying Errol Spence is a cool dude and he told me we're gonna fight. Terrence just want to make sure he's gonna fight, but I just want to point this out.
He called the wrong person.
Even though he made all that commotion, right? Even though Bud did all that, right? People still saying he ducking. People still saying he's scared. Regardless of what you do, you damn if you do, damn if you don't. If you're on that coincidental list, because he did all that, right? And they said he's ducking Porter. Obviously, we already touched on the Porter situation, but he wants to face the winner of that fight. He don't want to face the loser Porter because he has nothing to win. So why are we mad that he's calling out the winner? Like Canelo Alvarez, praying that he fight Charlo and Andrade, some winners. However, he want to focus on some fighters coming off their worst performances instead. Terrence, on the other hand, he want to fight the winner. The guy that they call Errol Spence the truth, right? He wants to fight him. So why are we bashing Bud for wanting to fight the best? I can understand if you think Errol Spence beats Bud, or you feel like it's the other way around. But if he wants to fight him and want to make the fight of the decade, why are we bashing him? Because we complain about these fighters that don't want to fight the best. And when we have somebody like Bud that only want to fight the best, they like, we don't believe you. What do you mean? He called him, man. He tried to see if he gonna call his bluff or not. Errol Spence told him, I told your boss what to do. I don't know if he told his boss he wants 60-40 split and Bob Arum wants 50-50. Maybe that's what he talking about. But all I'm saying is, let's not critique Bud for doing what he's supposed to do when we cry all day about Canelo and all these fighters being businessmen, like Lomachenko said, because he's the biggest businessman of them all. So Bud is not being a businessman. He being a fighter. So what are we complaining about? Because you think about it this way. If Errol Spence does beat Bud Crawford, right? And people say Bud is a bum. Errol Spence fans say that, right?
Really?
Like, I'm just saying, let's say Errol Spence beat him. Oh, he beat a bum. Let's say he struggled with him. He struggled versus a bum. Y'all see how y'all looking at it? Let's say it's the other way around. Let's say Terrence beat Errol Spence. And people saying, like Bud fans saying Errol Spence is a bum. Then Terrence Crawford beat him. What they gonna say? Oh, he beat a bum? Oh, y'all gonna try to give him his credit then? Like I said, give both fighters their credit.
Bum shouldn't even be part of your vocabulary. I mean, your vocabulary when talking about these
That's
fighters.
all I hear in the comment section. Either one fan base is bad than the other. It's like, we know both of the fighters are the truth. Both fighters are cut from the same cloth. So I understand when Errol Spence come through and says, and he discredit Bud, oh, he ain't fought nobody, this and that. That's what he's supposed to say, because he's going to go in negotiations with him. He want to show Bud, like, mentally, like, you ain't a nobody to me. Bud is doing the same thing. That's what you're supposed to do. But what the hell the fans got to do with this a guy a bum, that guy a bum, when they the best 2 pound for pound almost in the world? If they a bum, then everybody a bum. Like, that's what I don't understand with the fans, and that's why I try to get the fans, like I'm going to critique somebody when there's criticism to be made. Like Canelo, when he fights guys like Canelo, Saunders that's coming off a horrible performance and give up his strap to Charlo, a guy coming off a knockout win, right? That's an issue of mine. I'm going to mention it. But let's not critique the Buds of the world, the Errol Spences of the world, of doing what they supposed to do. Errol Spence have called out everybody. Terrence have did the same. Obviously, the Porter is an exception, but he gave his explanation for that. We talked about it last show. If y'all want to hear our thoughts on that, we're not going to dive into that again. So like I said, let's be fair to these fighters, because we not fighting, they are. So we could enjoy them fight. We could critique the fighters that are like that deserve to be criticized. So any thoughts on that, what I said, and how you feel about the whole situation?
I mean, I think we're kind of arguing over hypotheticals in this situation. So I'll state what was plainly known. So Spence obviously has the better record at 147. Bud made his or paid his dues in lower weight divisions. He was undisputed at 140. If somebody argues and says that there is some work that Bud needs to do at 147 to kind of compare to a Spence, then I'm going to listen to the argument because I think that is there. But when you have somebody whose talent transcends that, and you're talking about a pound for pound, and you have Spence who's dominated his division and is near top of the pound for pound, that's a fight that we're going to want to see pretty quickly. So I think that, yeah, we should give them credit for what they're doing, but I'm not interested in seeing Bud fight another Mean Machine.
Yo, so what's her name? How you say her name? Desiree. She said Bud Crawford beat Spence. Man, like I mess with Errol heavy, but Bud is the truth as well. So obviously that's a good fight. So I would like to see it. You know what I mean? But that's her. All right, that's her opinion on that.
Let's give somebody else some love. So Knowledge is Power says that Spence hasn't done anything but run his mouth. Paper champ. I'm gonna respectfully disagree with that.
Let's all be honest.
So first of all, he beat
Kell
Brook, who was undefeated at the time. Had he fought Triple G yet?
Yeah, he fought Triple G, but undefeated at 147.
He was undefeated at 147. He had lost to Triple G, but somebody who was a big, strong, and powerful welterweight champion. Not only that, he did beat Porter and what some people are calling the fight of the year. And
Mikey Garcia and Lamar Pearson. So let's all be honest. These are big names and these are great victories. So you can keep me up on the comments if you can. But let me hop to the next topic. Obviously.
Yeah, Brad Young says it's a 50-50 fight. I think it's close to 50-50. I think before the accident, it would be, I think, since the accident that
man,
people
you got Bud
would,
now?
I think as far as the odds, I think the odds would lean towards Bud. Yeah. I'm not saying who I have. I want to see some more training footage.
Both fighters' last performances, Bud, struggled a little bit versus Mean Machine. Errol Spence, in my opinion, that's how you beat a Porter. I mean, Porter gonna do Porter. He gonna make the fight look ugly. So I mean, obviously, if Errol didn't have the accident, like you said, I will favor Errol slightly. Yeah. But after the accident, it's more of a 50-50 fight to me. But to you, you said you favor Bud. Bud is the truth. Like I said, with this fight, you never know. Anything can happen. From all I know, Bud could go in the ring and dance circles around Errol. Maybe Errol could go and put him on the ropes and punish him. In my opinion, I think it's going to be a back and forth fight, a close fight, and a victory. A split decision for Errol Spence. That's my opinion. But that's back then. Now, I don't know how he looks. I got to see how he looks on his next fight if he fight Manny Pacquiao. So, J-Rock William, my man. Salamu alaikum to my brother, for real. That's that brother right there, man. I got so much love for him. That's why Charlo one of my favorite fighters, but it hurt me when he did my boy Greasy. So, J-Rock is a perfect example of a world champion. A minor setback for a major comeback. Now, exactly. he said that
there's nothing wrong with that in boxing.
He said that he not here to be a world champion. He's here to be a pound-for-pound #1 fighter in the world. In the future, he want to face the likes of Errol, the likes of Bud. He want to go down in history with the list of Floyd, Mayweather, Ali, all the greats. And he could do it if he put that mind into it. And obviously, he has the dedication and he has the skill and the talent to back it up. Obviously, he ran to a wall, which was Charlo. Ain't no shame in his game because Charlo one of the best fighters in the world, pound for pound. Yep. In my opinion, in my list, of course, like doing J-Rock like he did. And J-Rock.
Which one?
Jamal Charlo. Yeah. So, on the other hand, he could redeem himself fighting Jamal Charlo and move up in weight and fight Jamal Charlo again. You know what I mean? Yeah. So at the end of the day, the sky's the limit. He fighting his opponent.
Beat the little brother. Yeah, he got and then get your revenge on him.
Yeah, he fighting his mandatory. Obviously, his mandatory is a good fighter. However, I favor J-Rock all day. Yeah, I got J-Rock all day. That's my guy. I got to ride for Philly, and I feel like he represent Philly well. He represent us Muslims very well. The way he carry himself. Man, like I said, all the blessings to my brother, and I hope he wins in a tremendous fashion and see him with the fight that he wants the most, which is Jermell Charlo for the unification bout at 154. Now, how you think about his next upcoming fight, and what do you think about his statements? He wanting to become a pound for pound fighter.
So I think that those are lofty goals. Does he have the talent and everything else to do it? I look at J-Rock like just under the kind of, so there's the top tier of fighters and talent, and I think J-Rock is just under there. But sometimes your heart and your determination can put you over there. So he is getting a lot of credit for a very good win against the Jarrett Hurd. But Jarrett Hurd is somebody who is there to be hit.
But he like a light heavyweight though.
He is a light heavyweight, but we've known that somebody was gonna kind of knock him off of his perch. And then we were kind of hoping that it would kind of get to it, because we've seen it, just somebody with that style similar to Antonio Margarito, they're going to just kind of run into that person that just at that ultimate moment, all of those things kind of come together and break you down. It wasn't as bad as Sugar Shane against Antonio Margarito, but you saw some similarity between this big, intimidating figure of a fighter who just goes straight ahead and eats punches, but somebody who applied that technique, took the body away, and made sure that they hurt that person that was charging for it. You can see them easily, getting out of the box during those times. So I think that he's got some work to do. I think, first of all, he needs to make sure that he's the best person at his weight class, clean out that division, going and avenging that loss that you had to Charlo is a good step forward. But also claiming different championships in different weight divisions. Like, those are the things that we essentially see as a mark of somebody who is a pound for pound fighter.
100% correct on that, and that's what he's looking to do. However, all the fans and all of my Akhis in the comment section, if y'all got any question, because it's a lot of comments and obviously we stay busy talking and stuff. So if y'all got any question, all you have to do is drop a super chat. It could be for a penny, and we're going to basically respond to it. So if y'all got any question, as far as Bud, as far as anybody, drop the comment and the question with a super chat, or call in and we could talk about it. So that being said, Conor McGregor, man, after my man Khabib spanked the ish out of him. You know what I mean? Khabib gave him 2 L's that night. Beat him and his whole team. Now Conor McGregor making a comeback at 170 versus Cowboy. He don't want to be at 155, man, because Khabib out there, obviously he want the rematch to redeem himself, because ain't no more embarrassing loss than that. Like, getting smashed, spit on your face, and for real, man, he beat up his whole team. I'm talking about being a G. Habib, man, ain't Khabib, is Habib is the gangster of them all. Now,
it's definitely
obviously,
Habib. Yeah.
Conor McGregor making his comeback. I ain't gonna lie, Conor was one of my favorite fighters before he started smacking women or men, old men. He couldn't even knock out a 40-year-old man when he didn't want to try his BS whiskey. So Conor McGregor was one of my favorite fighters. I mean, just the way he think, the way he talk, like the way he carry himself. I was like, man, I like this guy. I mean, he remind me of the Prince. Anybody that give me a flashback of the Prince, I'll be like, man, I'll mess with this dude heavy.
I can see that.
Then all of a sudden, like, Prince always kept it respectful. He never dissed nobody, family, religion, none of that. He was respected. You know what I'm saying? He had manners. Conor has none. And that's why Khabib told him, like, man, I don't know, I should be talking. I'm not gonna talk about your father, because I could see how he raised you. You know, his English, Khabib ain't that good, but what he was saying was very meaningful. Now, what I want to say is this: Conor McGregor obviously want to avenge that loss. He coming back to steal more money in the game. He fighting Cowboy. Cowboy, obviously, he no longer the same. He wanted that fight back in the day, but he stayed losing every time he had a chance to fight Conor. Now they fighting. They have beef. All of that. Now, is he gonna be a chicken when he showed up, or is the beef real? Conor McGregor gonna step to him? He a southpaw. Cowboy have problems with southpaws, and he gonna knock him out. What you think? Like, how you see that fight?
I think it's an interesting fight. with Cowboy Cerrone. And one thing I want to say, so I was hesitant to talk about this. I'll always just put it out there because I feel that I have nothing against MMA. It's actually one of the sports that I do like. I'm into any kind of combat sports, but with us being a basketball channel, but I mean a basketball channel, boxing channel in a sense. But at the same time, when there are fights that kind of transcend and go out there, and striking / boxing is a discipline of MMA, I do think that it is appropriate and do that. But just if anybody has any kind of issues with that. With that said, I think that Cowboy has shown that when it comes to his biggest fights, when it's time to step up, that he's shown that he is not able to do that. He does fold. Conor comes out very quickly. And he usually takes you out within the first 2 rounds. Cowboy is notoriously a slow starter. I think it's good. I don't think.
So it ain't even gonna go a couple rounds. Is that what you're saying? Is that what I'm getting from you?
I got a second round, probably TKO with Conor. But there's a chance that Cowboy gets his fight to the ground. Cowboy has a very strong all around game. Conor is basically on his feet. Doesn't really do any submissions. And his kicks are good, but his kicks are really just to put you in the position for him to land that left hand.
Yeah, that's what he do. He basically sets you up, and like he throws a couple throwaway punches to set you up for a kick. But that's what Cowboy does. Just to follow
Cowboy
up with,
kicks are strong, real strong. Just
to follow up with what you said, obviously the UFC better hope Conor wins for the sake of UFC. Mm-hmm. But on the other hand, as far as split decision, we talk about boxing 99% of the time. 1% of the time, we might talk about UFC when it's an intriguing matchup, because I got to talk about my man Habib, you know what I'm saying? So obviously I got to talk about my man, and obviously UFC is striking as well. You have, what's her name that fought?
Amanda Nunes.
Amanda Nunes wanting to fight.
Shevchenko? Who you talking about? Oh, you talking about Chris Cyborg?
No. Amanda Nunes is probably gonna fight Carissa Shields. So
really?
So I'm just saying like that's possible, right? So it's not like we talking about basketball, football, and none of that. You know what I'm saying? So just to keep in mind, we talk about sports that you got to bring 2 cojones in order to get in the ring. You know what I'm saying? Any sport, you only need 1 ball. Boxing or UFC, you need 2 cojones. So what you think if Conor does win a mega fight and a pay-per-view fight with your boy? Do you want to announce his name?
Jorge Masvidal.
You already know, the man that had Canelo wait, even though he's saying he run Mexican Independent Day, he was waiting for him to finish whooping Diaz, even though I mess with Diaz, but he is a real life gangster.
He is.
It don't get no more gangster than that with a ponytail.
And then people, so I think Canelo has a lot of kind of integrity for it, because he said it just like this is a gimmick fight, because Jorge Masvidal tried to call out Canelo in a sense, and
he said interested. What are you talking about?
Well, from what I heard
from the interview,
like,
I interviewed, he said he'd like it. He said he'd do it. It's a good business decision. That's what he said.
So Alvarez, from what I heard, I read an article where he said that he was not interested in it at all, and it doesn't kind of prove anything, because you're essentially a novice in our sport.
Well, Canelo flip flops every day. So,
he might, but
anyways, what do you
like
think about Conor though versus him? Like I
don't think Conor wants to see it. I think Conor.
No, he called him out. Conor called him out.
Conor talks a lot. I think Conor can get slept in the sense like that.
Is it going to be a striking? Because Conor could strike. Let's be honest.
I haven't invested a lot of thought into this. I'm going to be honest. Yeah. I haven't invested a lot. But I think Conor gets... you got to realize this guy Masvidal like sleeps 170 pounders.
And this
Conor
dude 155
has only fought twice at 170. He lost once to Nate Diaz, where he got pieced up before he got choked out, and then he won basically a split decision.
No, that was at 155 though.
No, they were both at 170.
Yeah, but the rematch was at 155.
No, it was at 170. I'll check.
Yeah, you could check, but I think it was at 155. Regardless, he didn't have that many fights at 170 pounds. He not 170
I think
pounder.
only 2.
But I feel like he fight at 170 because he comfortable to make the weight. And you got to keep in mind, on the other hand, man, listen, bro, he don't want that smoke with Khabib, but I see him losing that fight in a good fight. I see him probably landing a strike or two, but man, that man is an animal in the ring. He gonna kill Conor, man. He don't want none of that smoke, like you said. But to finish last episode topics, obviously the awards, we didn't get to finish them because it was
at 170.
It was at the rematch?
Yeah, rematch. This was the main event. Because the reason I know that is because Conor felt that I can't fight this guy and get beat at 170 and then like say, okay, I'll fight you again, but I'm gonna make you lose all this weight. So
I didn't know that.
So
he
just
fought
out
for
of
the
point
title
of
after that 155.
Yeah,
okay, see, that's what I get confused.
Exactly, yeah.
So the awards now, knockout of the year, I give it to Wilder versus Brazil. Who you give it to?
I had it a tie essentially, but I'm actually give it to Wilder versus Ortiz because I think the drama was a little bit more. The shocking appeal of it was just incredible. So I'm gonna go Wilder against Ortiz to knockout.
Yeah, one thing for sure. I mean, that it's like they both didn't know what happened afterwards. That's for sure. You know what I'm saying? Now, like Wilder, obviously, every time he steps in the ring, he delivers better knockouts time and time again. And it ain't the knockout of the year to Deontay Wilder fights. So we'll see if he could deliver another one versus Tyson Fury. Now, was that your first pick? Because last show, did you really pick?
I did.
You had two.
I had two, but it was basically a tie between Wilder and Brazil or Wilder or Ortiz.
Okay, so you're saying both of them, yeah. I see Brazil a little more damaging because they had beef. I don't know. Maybe like
I think he's less than an opponent.
You know what I mean? But anyways, next topic, round of the year. I had it to Ruiz versus
Joshua,
the base.
Third round.
All right, the same. So we obviously know why, because that was such a game changer. But Ruiz now, on the other hand, Ruiz, he had the knockout of the year, or the round of the year, I'm sorry, versus AJ. Then came and lost the title, said he was training 2 days for that fight. And now he fired his trainer. Like, what's up with Ruiz, man? I picked Ruiz of love. You know what I'm saying? I thought he was going to come hungrier than ever. I thought he was going to come 220 pounds, looking like Tyson. I thought he was going to come looking like Tyson against AJ. And he surprised me coming 300 pounds. And it was like, what is you doing talking about he didn't train when that was his future was in front of him. He just met the president of Mexico. You know how much of an honor is that for his pride and his family? And he let that fly. Now, what's up with Ruiz? Why is he taking this lightly? Obviously, the fame, the money came his way, but shouldn't that motivate you to stay up there? Because you was at the down low where you were almost quit boxing. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I think that he basically just smashed a pie in his own face. Like, that's what he did. He wanted to eat. He wanted
ate
to
too
party.
much. Is that what you're saying?
No, he wanted to eat. He wanted to party. He wanted to like soak in these accolades. And he wasn't ready for the responsibility of wearing the crown. And I really don't want to talk to him. I think he kind of embarrassed himself in the sense to come in almost 300 pounds.
And then right after when he lost, that's why I didn't respect is as soon as he lost, if you took the L like a man, one thing, but you brought up all these excuses.
Yeah.
Well, why did you win? Like, you had all this preparation and you let this guy school you. And he said, AJ out of his own mouth, walk into the ring. He had to think twice if he should walk or walk backward. Walk forward or walk backward. And you had this basically a fighter that's thinking twice about fighting you, shook of you, and you blew it. Yeah. You blew it, son. Man, listen. It is what it is. On to the next topic. The hope list of the year. The fighter of the year. Obviously, from the hope list is Lomachenko. And the reason I say that, the hope list is basically a fighter that get benefits that other fighters don't get because he's on the hope list. The hope list is a fighter like Lomachenko, Canelo Alvarez, who could call the WBC and request a WBC French fries title to avoid a mandatory from the coincidentalist. A hopeless fighter gets benefit like this. The WBC, for example, had a rule: if you lose, you can't fight for the title. Lomachenko broke the rules and some way, somehow fought Salido his second fight right away. You know what I mean? He fought for a title And he lost that fight. He admitted it. It was a learning experience. He said he got taken to the Mexican university and he couldn't graduate. And he got a title shot right away with the WBO. I thought y'all had a rule that if you lose, you can't fight for the title. He literally just lost his last fight for the title. And y'all gave him another opportunity. Y'all didn't tell him go back into the drawing board. Nah, he hopped back to the top for a title that more fit his style, because he fought Gary Russell that was fighting for a vacant belt as well, who wasn't a champion at the time, and he obviously had a boxing style which Lomachenko favors. Obviously moved up, got a couple titles fighting the leftovers of Mikey Garcia, like Martinez, instead of fighting Salido, the guy that beat you the first time, but you didn't want to give him the money he earned. Anyways, he fought for a vacant title. Again, the WBC at 135. When you a whole two-time world champion, Luke Campbell and Devin Haney was supposed to fight for that title. Devin Haney was actually the number one mandatory, supposedly. And some way, somehow, Devin Haney doesn't fight Luke Campbell and doesn't fight Lomachenko either. And Lomachenko fights Luke Campbell instead, the same guy that lost to Linares. And he a two-time world champion. Some way, somehow, he fighting for a vacant belt. Now, the WBC has a rule that if you are basically a vacant world champion, a fighter that won a vacant title, you have to defend it against the two mandatories. Again, with Lomachenko, he don't have to oblige by the rules. He could, regardless of what the rules say, he could write his own rules, his own book, because he fighter from the hopeless. He said absolutely not. And guess what happened? He didn't fight. He requested the French Fries title and avoided Devin Haney. And he could become undisputed, according to them. Even though they just said it's not a championship and it's not a title. Which one is it? The WBC. But on to the next reason why he a hopeless fighter. And he get benefits that other fighters don't get. ESPN was speaking with Crawford, the pound for pound number one that new media has. Me and Professor Nim also agree. They told him, you pound for pound number one. That same interview, they show a list of ESPN having Lomachenko as undefeated, first of all. First, they had him undefeated. Then they changed it to a draw. Then had him as pound for pound number one. Now, since when we erase losses? Don't tell me it's a mistake because it happened twice. And one thing you can never take back is them 4 million people that was tuning in on live television. Now you done lied to them. Now they want to become hardcore boxing fans. They remember seeing the name and they see that he lost. He like, what? I thought he lost. Oh, now he didn't lose? This ain't an amateur loss, and you can't even erase those. And that one in particular, he fought 3 times the same opponent he lost to. However, he didn't want to rematch Salido. He didn't want to fight the guy like Manny Pacquiao that he want to be as great as, a 40 version of that Pacquiao. So that's why he's on the help list. Now, do you want to say anything to that?
No, I'm just I haven't really thought too much about the hope list, whatnot. Some of your arguments are valid. I will say with Salido, this was a guy who came in overweight and fouled Lomachenko several times in that bout, which might have had something to do with him.
Well, that fight was at featherweight, and Lomachenko was a feather at the time as far as his pro accomplishments. So, of course, he was supposed to come overweight. He's supposed to break the rules. Of course. Since Lomachenko, what the hell he did to earn the title?
A professional, because once you come in overweight, you don't even have a chance at the title. He actually could have won the title.
That wasn't an advantage. That was a disadvantage because he moved up in weight right away. He could no longer make the weight. It ain't like he fought at 128 because he chose to. He could no longer make the weight. That's why he struggled to make the weight. The next fight was 130 and all that. He was fighting at that weight for like 10, 20 years. So let's be honest, it was a disadvantage. And Lomachenko was a feather at the time. He haven't accomplished a thing in the pros. Salido obviously felt disrespected. And he definitely disrespected Lomachenko in the ring, hitting him in his cojones. So on to the next topic. Coincidentalist, I got Andrade number one because he tried to fight Saunders and Canelo. They rather fight each other. He tried to fight all these fighters from Gennady Golovkin. That fight for Dazn, I'm not even talking about across the street or what they like to call it. I like to call it, politics of boxing, but they call it across the street. I'm talking about Dazn fighters on his own network. He can't even get those fights. That's why he a fighter. Number one on the coincidental list. Number two, Charlo, then Devin Haney or however. Now, Man, this is a new one. Now I gotta hear this. The most feared man of the decade. Who is it, Professor Nam? From 2010 to 2020, who was it, Professor Nam?
Most feared man of the decade.
Like avoided, all of that.
I think that's tough.
It's easy. It's easy
You
work.
think so?
It's easy. You know what I'm saying? Like Mayweather said, easy work. Stop playing.
Easy work. Nah, so I think that at one point, the boogeyman in boxing was Triple G. At one point, another point, it was Errol Spence, who was a boogeyman.
So who is it? Just give me the name. Just know me the main one. Don't give me who you think
Most
or who was.
man of the decade.
Just give me one. All it takes is one. Like Wilder says, he one of the most feared too. But just give me your thought.
I'm a surprise y'all, and I'm gonna go with Rigondeaux.
Exactly. That's man. How you gonna steal my answer? I thought you about to go with somebody else. First of all, Gennady Golovkin ain't no boogeyman. He dug Andre Ward. He avoided Andre Ward in his prime. He avoided Lara. Ain't nobody avoided Gennady Golovkin. Let's all be honest. It was just all hype, and that train crashed
he had
a long time ago.
As a boogeyman.
Fighters did avoid him, but a lot of fighters did want to fight him. Rigondeaux, the guy you called out, Cruz, Mares, Quigg, Frampton, they were all champions at a division where Rigondeaux was the number one guy that just beat Donaire in the most viewed fight on HBO. It was one of the highest, most viewed fights. Man, it was a tremendous fight. And Rigondeaux had 2 straps. Nobody watches the lower weight divisions fights like that unless it was the Donaire at the time and Rigondeaux. And Rigondeaux, after he beat him, became a hot fighter. Man, they try to ish on him just because he beat the fighter from the Hopeless like Donaire, because they were saying Donaire could beat Mayweather, according to Max Kellerman. If he fight Mayweather at 147, he'd be the favorite if he was 147 pounder. Rigondeaux schooled him like he stole something. And Donaire still kicking ass to this day. Fought Inouye and had a war with that guy. And obviously, Rigondeaux fought him in his prime and washed him, being 30 pounds, 20 pounds smaller than him, right? So they chose not to fight Rigondeaux, moved up in weight to avoid him. Not even one single fighter called out Rigondeaux. Rigondeaux still being ducked to this day. Lomachenko didn't want to fight him on 126. However, he wanted to fight Inouye at 126, according to Bob Arum. Lomachenko said, absolutely not. You got to move up to 130. And that's a fact for the casual fans, or the decavs, I should say. My bad. I take that back about the casual fans. No disrespect. So my point is, Wilder also up on the list. Rigondeaux, on the other hand, the reason I gave it to him, because even Donaire, when he lost to him, he said that the reason I lost is because I had to move up in weight. I could no longer make the weight. That's what Donaire said. You could check out the post-fight interview, because everything that I say is fact. So Donaire said that, right? Now, where did Donaire fight his last fight?
He fought it at junior bantamweight.
118. So your excuse for not rematching Rigondeaux, even though Rigondeaux was willing to move up to 126 and fight him, but his excuse was, oh, well, I struggle to make the weight. That's why I lost. I don't want to rematch at 122, blah, blah, blah. Rigondeaux was like, I'll move up to 126 and fight you. Then when Donaire realized that 126 are too big for him, he was like, man, Rigondeaux, great. He was 20 pounds smaller than me, and it felt like he was the bigger man. I fought Walters, and he had me feeling like I was fighting a giant. It's like I ran into a wall. He moved down to 118 now. It just show you how feared was Rigondeaux. Wilder is pretty feared. He had Povetkin, AJ avoiding him. All these fighters except the Tyson Fury. The only guy that stepped up to the table,
Ortiz.
You know what I'm saying? And Ortiz, obviously, because he was the boogeyman. Errol Spence was one of the most feared.
Yeah,
I would
Ortiz
have it ranked as Rigondeaux, Errol, Wilder, or Errol and Wilder.
Then maybe even Ortiz, because Ortiz he was.
You talking about virtual? No, I'm sorry. Luis Ortiz. Yeah. He's
Ortiz.
still one of the most feared. Dillian White won't fight him to save his life. Most mistreated fighter of the decade, Professor Nam.
You know who I got.
Who?
You know who I got.
Who that, man? You gotta tell me. Andrade.
Yeah, and part of it is his own doing and just making bad business
Decisions.
and managerial decisions, but he has been the most managed, most ill-treated boxer of this decade. He should be a superstar right now. He should be somebody that we know and is on commercials and is just part of the boxing conversation through on multiple platforms. But I think everybody that I talk to tomorrow at work, I can ask about that person, about his name, and then they won't know him.
I feel like he made a couple bad business decisions, but he was also avoided. That's why I heard him, because he was trying to look for some smoke. He couldn't. He got misguided because he was looking for the smoke so much. They directed him the wrong way, so Canelo could avoid him. So I would disagree with you on that, though. Slightly.
Who you got? Who you got though?
I think the most mistreated fighter of the decade is Rigondeaux. Like, he really was mistreated. Man, they avoided the man. They had him move up 2 weight divisions to fight Lomachenko. He had all the disadvantages. He was 10 years older. Haven't fought or haven't been active. Like, had 2 or 3 fights for the past 4 years, while Lomachenko had 4 fights in 1 year or 5 fights in 1 year. Like I said, he was the smaller guy. They gave him a small purse of $400K. Talking about, oh, he quit. He was supposed to quit with that purse they offered him. They talking about Lomachenko pound for pound #1, and they gave this dude $400K. Come on, man. Now I want to shout out Rap Critic, man.
Critic, what a
salute.
good.
Keep schooling these delusional fanboys. Hey, man, Rap Critic, salute all day. I just dropped the number. Call in. Hey, hold on. I'm gonna drop the number. How you say her name?
Desiree,
Desiree, call in, because we haven't had a female call in, so obviously you got to show love to split decisions. But for the meantime, Rap Critic, appreciate you for donating and showing love on the super chat. It's truly appreciated. That's my man, Rap Critic. For the ones that don't know, now you know. Now, that being said, I'm sorry if I missed any super chats. We were too busy talking. Drop the comment if you did right now, and I'll talk about it. But I can see if y'all did, so I don't think I missed any. Yeah. So just to finish the episode today, we had a great one. Obviously, next episode we're gonna give y'all the list of new media awards and all of that. We just gave split decisions awards. So next episode we're just gonna announce it. We're not gonna talk about it. Appreciate you for having appreciate you, Professor Nan, for another great episode 17. And none of the decafs called in other than this guy that I don't know what he was talking about. Talking about Floyd Mayweather was in pound for pound back in 2007. Ain't even an argument. So like I said, I'm talking about the decafs that want to argue. They keep saying I'm this and that in the comment section. That want to seek out the truth in the Akhi. That want to prove me wrong. Y'all got something to prove. Akhi undefeated. Akhi, man, he the GOAT, because nobody want to prove him wrong on split decision. He undefeated on split decision. Professor Nam styling on y'all. He too fly. He literally is the sky. He the sky, man. Come on, stop playing with him. So I appreciate every single one of my Akhis. Obviously, I'd rather talk with a decaf just to school him for my Akhis and entertain y'all, but I love talking with my Akhis too. Obviously, to my left, in the blue corner, the man that always gets back up regardless of him getting knocked down.
Oh, you ain't never seen that. You never seen that.
So though. You never got dropped in split decision?
Nope. My record clean.
My record clean? Is it cleaner to you?
Clean.
You sure? Is it cleaner to you?
It's just as clean.
Because you too fresh out there. I don't know, man. You too fresh, man. I don't know. If your record that clean, you going to be more popular than Floyd, man.
I mean, y'all let us know out there. I'm going to leave it up to them. Okay,
drop the comment section who y'all think wanted to debate. I don't know how much we debated today. I don't even think we debated. But regardless, at the end of the day, we want the smoke. Professor Nim want the smoke. If you disagree with him, call in. I'ma just be the referee. If you disagree with me, call in. He's gonna be the referee.
For like 10 more minutes. We'll take some calls. So Rap Critic, go ahead and call in. And then anybody else who wants to close us out with some comments.
Oh yeah, follow me. Akhi TV on Instagram, AKHI_T.V. So follow me on Instagram. It will be in the description box below as well. Cop the Split Decision merch if you want to be dripped up like we do. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you already know. We don't got to tell you how fly we is because all you got to do is just stare at Professor Nim for a minute or two. But for the meantime, like I said.
And with that said, so I don't have IG. I'm a little behind on some of the social media things. Like I'm incognito, but I'm coming out with an app. It's called STEM Squad, and I will be providing y'all details as it gets a little bit more developed.
And a movie. We got an app coming and a movie.
I might have a
Professor
movie
Nim is
out
not
there.
playing with y'all, so we got to call
What's up?
in.
We gotta call in.
My man from All In too. I'm gonna call you right back 504. But for the meantime, Akhi, how you doing, fam? State where you calling from and your name.
Louisiana is Rap Critic. What's good with it?
Rap critic in the house.
What's good with it?
Man.
Professor Nels, my dog Akhi, my brother. What's up, man?
Hey, feeling better that you called in, man. Great talking to you.
Appreciate the blessings.
Yes, sir. Hey, look, gotta start it off, man. You know what I'm saying? Professor Nels, you my dog, but you got a couple no contests, man. I just gotta keep it facts, man.
So hey,
I got a couple of NCs on the record. Oh my God.
So Akhi got a couple bodies on his record.
Oh my God.
A couple, man. My dog Akhi been putting in that work, man. Putting in that work. He been putting in that work. But I gotta give it to Professor Nels though. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to this YouTube, don't nobody dress like Professor Nels, man.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Stay fly.
Oh man,
we keep it saucy out here, bro.
Hey, trying to be like you, Rap Critic. We trying to rap like you, Rap Critic. Straight up.
Hey, I come with that real rap. But look, let's get into it, man.
Let's cook.
I think we talked about it last week. You know, Fighter of the Decade. I gotta give it to Floyd. I wanted to go back over that pound for pound real quick because I just did just off the top of my head. I went with I had Bud in there, I had Errol in there. I hate to give it to him, but I had Lomachenko in there. You know what I'm saying? Cause look, the whole thing. Like let's address Lomachenko, man. Great skill set. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of the top ring fighters, man, that they promote super hard. They got decent skill sets, man, and they have talent and all that shit. But you know, like when you go above and beyond to take losses off a man's record and do all this fugazi stuff, you know, whether it's Lomachenko's fault or not, you know, I gotta take points off. Just like Professor's favorite fighter, Canelo.
What?
Canelo's a drug cheat, man. You know what I'm saying? They going above and beyond. You know what I'm saying? To
stay on this level. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like they going above and beyond to try to see if they can
hang with the brothers.
Change some of the rule books so they can let clenbuterol be legal again. So
man, preach.
He want. That's not right, man. I can't rock with Canelo over it.
Preach.
Off the strength of that.
Yeah. Now I want to respond to that too. So I had to change my list a slight change. My number 10 is Josh Taylor instead of Mikey Garcia because he's just unified 140 and he's just become he's just won the Super 6. But I agree with you. Now, first of all, Rap Critic, if we're gonna base things on ducking and stuff, for example, like I will put Deontay Wilder over Lomachenko and Canelo, right? Because Wilder never ducked anybody. He the quality of a real champion. So, but people wanna base things on accomplishments and all the above. So my list, just to put it out there real quick off the dome. I got Terrence Crawford number 1, Pacquiao number 2 because he looking like he wants some smoke with my man Errol, so I'm all for it. Number 3, Errol Spence. Number 4, I got Lomachenko. Number 5, Canelo. Number 6, Deontay Wilder. However, like I said, if you basing things off wanting to fight instead of a resume and all the above, then Deontay Wilder is above those two guys in particular. However, number 7, I got Inouye. Number 8, I got Charlo. Number 9, I got Andrade. Number 10, I got my man Josh Taylor. Professor Nim, you agree with that?
That's a
good list, right?
I might switch a couple of bit, but that's a legitimate list.
That's a legitimate. Obviously, check out the last episode to see Professor Nim pick as well. Rap Critic, yeah, go ahead.
Just real quick, look, because like I already know some other cats want to call. We can't forget that Deontay Wilder is a Olympian as well. You know what I'm saying? Even though he came late in the game, I believe he's got a bronze medal to go with that. So
he's a bronze bomber.
They could talk accolades and accomplishments, but at the end of the day, don't nobody really want no real smoke with Deontay, man.
Man, preach, brother. Hey, hold on. Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this, right? You know Muhammad Ali, right? Ali in Arabic stands for the highest, like the highest, right? He tied Muhammad Ali for 10 title defenses. So you can't tell me Wilder ain't this and that when he just fought Ortiz, Tyson Fury, and keep in mind he fighting Tyson Fury again. And when your name is Ali and you tying his record for 10 title defenses, we know it's not easy because AJ just got upset by Ruiz, a person that's eating burgers all day. You know what I'm saying? One day decided to work out and became a world champion and shit. So all I'm saying is it's not that easy because we seeing fighters fail at doing so. But yeah, I'm sorry for cutting you off. I just had to get that out the way.
Nah, it's all good because at the end of the day, that man don't duck no smoke. And that man gives multiple opportunities, man. You know, like I salute the dude, man. You know, for knowing what Ortiz family situation was going through, put your title, your life, and all that on the line to make sure that another man could feed his daughter, bro. That's
love. That's real. That's love. That's real, and all the above. And I wish fighters carry themselves the way Deontay Wilder does, carrying the sport on his back. And he is the baddest man on the planet and the most feared because he literally carries the sport on his back and he preaches everything he says. But, man, great talking with you, Rap Critic. Always tune in, call in. You know, man, you're a regular at the show.
Appreciate the love, bro. You fam now.
You fam. Hey, you know, he an Akhi. You already know. Stop playing.
Hey, look, the only thing, bro, y'all got to drop your IG account, man, so I can keep up with y'all during the week.
Yes, sir.
Outside this YouTube shit.
I got you. So it's in the description of the description box below of this video. So yeah, follow me. I follow you right back. And all my Akhis out there too.
Salute, man. I'm gone, man. Until next week.
Appreciate it, Rap Critic. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up last call because my man called, and let me call him.
Call him back. That's right.
Yeah. So, like I said, appreciate Rap Critic for calling in. That's a regular on the show. He Akhi. If you want to be part of the family, click on the notification bell to get notified every time you post to go live. And my man from Orland, I believe, Akhi. Stay where you from and where you calling from and your name.
Yo. What up, Akhi?
What's up, man?
What's good?
Calling from New Orleans, man. 504. This is Antoine.
Antoine, what's good, boy? Out there in the bayou. Wardy.
I got a couple questions, man.
Yes, sir.
I see a lot of people going back and forth in the comments over Spence, over Pac-Man, over Crawford. I want to know, man, why is it so hard for Crawford to get any fights at 147?
Because he the truth.
Crawford?
I mean, is he?
No, he talking about Crawford.
Yeah, because ain't no cap in his game. He the truth. I mean, like I said, he is on ESPN. Obviously, you know, PBC got all the talent, so he only could work with what he has. See, when you such a he a high reward, however, he even a higher risk. So it's only handful fighters that want to fight you. Like Danny Garcia obviously got offered the fight, but people say, well, Amir Khan got offered more money. But you got to keep in mind, Bobby Arum responded to that by saying we offered Amir Khan the same thing. However, Amir Khan sat with us on the table and negotiated with us. And at the end of the day, he walked out with $7 million. Danny Garcia didn't even respond. So that was that. What you say? I'm sorry.
What about Thurman, man? Can Thurman get the fight with
Man,
Crawford?
Keith Thurman, he already said, before he even lost to Pacquiao, he said that he not looking for Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford got to prove himself. Terrence Crawford this, Terrence Crawford that. But he didn't say nothing about Danny Garcia in that sense. He said he going to welcome Danny Garcia to the welterweight division. But when it's Crawford, who's a champion, he obviously had a different energy. But what you say?
One quick question, man. How can Crawford prove himself, right? If nobody calls him out, if nobody wants to fight him at 147, if they're saying he can't fight anyone on PBC because of the so-called across the street, well, who can he fight at 147? I mean, I even see people saying, hey, man, just go down and fight goddamn what's his name, man? The guy
Taylor.
For,
Josh Taylor.
For Floyd. Go down and fight Tank Davis. Now if he go down and
Wow.
can he prove himself at 147? Who can he fight?
Yeah.
He can't fight nobody from PBC.
Oh, no, he ain't fight. I mean,
He
there's the
can
people.
fight somebody from PBC though.
Tom Porter.
No, I'm talking about Crawford.
Yeah, Porter.
He can fight a couple of people. What I'm saying is like if you own PBC, then you own it. Everybody's on PBC. Right. The thing is that Arum has to be willing to negotiate with Al Heyman. Now, I mean, like Bob Arum.
Yeah,
he has to. Bob Arum.
I mean, he already did. He willing to sit with Al Heyman only for one fight.
I don't want to hear that.
And obviously, no, hold on. No, let me get this out the way.
No. I'm saying not you, but I'm saying like his argument.
Yeah, but I'm saying Terrence. I believe he said ESPN offered Keith Thurman a fight. They offered Danny Garcia a fight. Errol Spence already told Bob Arum what it takes to make the fight with him. I don't know if it's a 60-40 split, but Bob wasn't cool with that, so he wants the fight to build, I guess. On the other hand, Danny Garcia, there's only one fight with the PBC other than Errol that's willing to fight him, and that's a Porter. However, he not, like I said, we already dived in on that if you want to talk about it, but he said that's his friend, obviously. So, I mean, we haven't seen Porter call him out. I mean, have you? I mean, as far as I'm talking about himself.
I've never seen no video of Porter calling him out, even though everyone says in the comments, Porter called him out. I mean, Kenny said he's waiting on the phone call, but I've never seen Porter call him out.
Yeah. So he got too much respect for Terrence to call him out like that. But like I said, if you have too much respect for him, that means it don't sound like you willing to throw everything in order to fight him. You know what I mean? I remember. Huh?
No, I was just saying, man, not to cut you off. I just hope Terrence don't go down as one of those greatest fighters who shoulda, coulda, would have. Who could have been this, who could have been that, but go down as a great fighter, and he's getting old, man. I mean, he really is getting old.
No, he's 29.
He's going to retire sooner or later.
He's 31.
And last but not least, man, y'all think about the zone giving Mickey that $7 million.
Man, they making horrible decisions in my opinion because first of all, just to respond to the Crawford situation, I hope not. You know what I'm saying? But I think he will get the Errol Spence opportunity, that should define his career. That's a defining career moment right there. But regardless of if he win or lose, as long as he give Errol a good fight, in my opinion, that won't harsh his legacy. But if he does get washed by Errol, that's a different story. But I don't think anybody washes Bud.
Yeah,
Errol would give. Even I love Errol Spence. That's one of my favorite fighters. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. But Errol, that's his toughest fight right there is above Crawford. But as far as the DAZN thing, I mean, DAZN gave up Josh Taylor, the best 140-pounder, and Inouye. Man, they gave him up and gave Mikey $7 million. What kind of decision was that? And they got this YouTube fight too. I don't know what it is, but it's like, look, man, I'm all for the growth of the sport, but DAZN, what are these decisions y'all making of late? They need an Akhi to go manage over there or something.
Man, like they some clowns, man. They interested in doing anytime you have a Devin Haney who is the co-main event for some social media like YouTube fight, then like you're in the wrong game. You're doing the wrong thing. I'm sorry.
They could have put Devin Haney as the main event, but I could see they could be like, okay, well the main event is the people fight that they want to see, which is all these casual fans seeing KSI and Logan Paul. But it is what it is.
You let them do their own freak show. Yeah, don't disrespect Haney like that, man.
Any last thoughts, Akhi?
Yeah, man, I know they have a lot of phone calls lined up. One last thing, let me get this in just a quick second. Akhi, you made a video a while back, man, when Pac-Man had posted on Twitter and also on his Instagram account after he had a fight with Broner. He was like, who should my opponent be next? And he had a poll of a whole bunch of fighters, but he didn't have Spence's name in that Twitter poll. Now, after the accident, now he's calling out Spence. What kind of bullshit is that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. I remember that. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, he didn't have Bud or Errol, and obviously I could see why not have Bud.
All of a sudden?
Yeah, if Bud is not on the list and you could use the across the street, but why wasn't Errol on the damn list? But as soon as remember when Errol told him hop in the ring after the Mikey Garcia thing, and Manny was invited to the PBC event thinking Floyd Mayweather was gonna fight him because Floyd Mayweather was invited as well, but he didn't know Errol was basically he was invited so Errol could call him out, and Errol called him out, and Manny was like, man, I'm not even supposed to be here. What the hell they got me saying I'm gonna fight Errol Spence, lying, capping like hell. Even though I love Pacquiao, but
man, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Keep educating everybody. Thank y'all so much, and I appreciate it.
yeah, appreciate
Man, appreciate
it, Akhi,
the
man.
love,
Always
bro.
call in, man.
All right, one.
All right, one. So it's gonna be our last call for the day, but I appreciate everybody for calling in. As far as the Pacquiao situation, man, love him or hate him, he's a legend in the sport. But obviously, you can see him. You know, he wasn't interested in Errol Spence then, but he interested in Errol Spence now. However, man, Professor Nam, great talking to you. Great show. My best
show,
moment of the week. You know what I'm saying? Always look forward to coming into split decision. And take us out, Professor Nam. Take these decafs out. And you know what I'm saying? Go ahead, look for the smoke. I know we're not trying to be bullies like you said earlier, but we're replying to the people that's dissing us and calling all their Akhis their brothers and talking ish, because we not laughing with y'all, we laughing at y'all. Go ahead, take us out, Professor Nan.
Yeah, we want to say we appreciate all the support, and even if you are chiming in to see us fail, because a lot of people watch Mayweather fights to like see him lose, we still appreciate that support and all that. But like we say, like my goal here is just, I think it's just because of the way that I'm wired, is we're here to educate, we're here to build together
And inform.
and stuff, and
Yeah.
and to inform and to educate. Sometimes if there's a little bit of tension, that's okay.
And
right?
entertainment, exactly.
And entertainment. I come from a boxing background, all that. So
Two-time
sometimes-
Golden Glove.
you know, so sometimes you need that. So we do, but we want to keep the ad hominems, or what we call personal attacks. We want to keep that at a minimum, and then come with your facts and come ready to defend those things. And then we're going to give you the best content on the internet at this point. Make sure that you subscribe. We're close to getting 10,000 for Akhi TV,
And we're gonna have
then
a
after
host and all that. So we're gonna have
we're
eye
getting
candy,
a host or whatnot.
all that.
Make sure you do that, and then once we get to like 100, it's just gonna be, the whole studio is gonna be transformed. We're doing this from a little bit of a makeup, but like you see, every time you see us, the technical capabilities are improving. We're finding different ways to reach the audience, and we appreciate you growing with us and coming with us during this journey.
I just want to say, y'all know how we coming. And just like you said, they tune in to see Floyd Mayweather lose. But guess what? Floyd Mayweather stay improving every time, getting better. On split decision, we getting better every time. And shout out to my man, Rap Critic. He donated, and threw us 10K. What?
Exactly. He said we are building this foundation brick by brick, racks on racks on racks.
Yeah, I know. Hey, brick by brick, we building a wall that these decafs can't climb. All they gonna have to do is tune in every Sunday live and become a hardcore boxing fan.
Then,
so appreciate you, Rap Critic. That's my Akhi. That's a fan right there all day. Shout out to, you want to say her name? Because I keep messing her up. I don't want her trying to hurt me and shit.
I'm probably going to mess up her last name, but we want to give a shout out to Desiree Prieto, which is the first time she said she likes the show.
You're going to need to call in now.
Knowledge is power. Knowledge, appreciate that. Yo, best show on YouTube, straight knowledge, man. That's straight
knowledge
love.
Is power.
RJ, Rap Critic, you know what it is, man. He's part of this. And then I also want to give a shout out to like Mo Fire. He's like came in and was like saying that. So man, appreciate it, man. We appreciate all the love and join us.
RJ in the comment section.
Exactly.
Everybody in the comment section. Guys, when we have the host, we're going to have a better flow to the show. Right now, we can't even keep up with a comment section like that. That's why we tell y'all to put super chats if we're going to reply to something, because it's kind of hard. But I peep every single one of my keys. I appreciate every single one of y'all. I know I talk about the hate a lot because a lot of people hate. However, I really appreciate the people that support me and show love, because that's the people that get me motivated to do my videos every day and then come on the split decision and have a great time with y'all. Y'all say this is the best show on TV, on YouTube, on Akhi TV exclusive, and I appreciate y'all for that. So at the end of the day, Professor Nim, take us out while I press on the buttons and let the magic happen.
We out there. Hit that subscribe every Sunday live. We'll see y'all again. Peace.
And y'all know, at the end of the day, you can keep talking because I'm still taking us out. We still live.
We still live. We still going.
Yeah,
We're still doing it.
Yeah, so just take us out to, subject on the next show, or give shout outs to the people in the comment section.
Yeah. So, shout out to Underground Asylum. Salute Akhi and Professor Nim. See y'all at the next one. Appreciate the love. Rap Critic. Also, Knowledge is Power. Please keep educating the casuals. Exactly, man. And we feel that we actually educating each other, man. This is like an experience because some of y'all come with some facts that we might not be aware of, or that we're like a little misinformed in, and then we're like humble enough in our knowledge to know to say that, you know what, we misspoke or misquoted on this. So, man, y'all are definitely part of the movement. Just as we are.
Y'all part of the new media movement. Y'all part of the Akhi movement. Y'all my brothers / sisters. For the sisters that's watching. So at the end of the day, just know that it's all love. Like I said, if people come and, inform us on a thing or two, we're not perfect, but we strive for perfection every day. So like I said, I appreciate y'all for calling in.
Yeah, and then like Rap Critic, thanks for reminding us, smash the like button.
Yes, sir.
And there you go, bro. You looking out. We also want to give it out for Monster Mouche or whatnot. Gives that thumbs up 100. I hope I'm not mispronouncing that. But if we are, make sure that